done dropping all his meds. So where your team at? I bet they hiding in the shed. Yeah, it's all of the new players. Do me a huge favor, don't loot when the blues fading. You better go hit the train and right stick is heavily favored. More practice make you a laser, hot drop you never gon' make it. Just face it and stay patient. You gonna die a lot and probably gon' get frustrated. Just watch for snakes and pull down on the right stick when you aim it. A lot of haters in this game, so be ready for language and just play it. AKM with a bolt action, aiming at me, now you're soul bastard. Whole team dropping the toe tags. The AKM got about 4 mags. Go ahead and push me, I'm a soul snatcher. Better bring your whole squad when you're rolling past. Fly squad in the passenger, pound jumping in the whip, you be crashing, bruh. Stream clipping and we flipping like a spatula. Tears mopping in the whip, never blasted us. Now you fucking with some ghosts, not your average bus. And we running amok, so come test your luck and just rush. Everybody be acting like they're gonna bust. So if you see us in the feet, better duck.
Just landed on a car 9, I feel bad if you peek me. Whoever said they the best sniper, they probably just never seen me. I make it rain, we not the same, make drag sniping look easy. How quick I make you disappear, God, I'm thinking I'm a genie. I'm too official, and my shot clean, don't blow the whistle. 2-piece, that's a double dribble, popping heads like I'm popping pimples. FPPTPP, still no one escapes me. Snipe like me, honestly, no one, that's a guarantee. It's over with. Floss God, I'm not the one to be fucking with. Bust it quick and I rarely miss. Light you up like a candlestick, stream popping like fireworks. PUBG, this my occupation, don't hesitate cause I fire first and I'll leave you dead laying on the pavement. I'm really feeling unstoppable. Get a gun and I'm dropping you. All you trolls so comical. Check your stats, you garbage juice. Not worthy, positive but not scared of the controversy. I know the haters gonna try to serve me. If you come troll, I show no mercy. PUBG is my stomping ground. Turn the city to a ghost town. Facebook is where I'm found. It's enough views to go around. Spent 5 years in this game. No need for improvements and shout out to my gang. Floss me, this a movement, bitch. Floss. Yo, Pound, you fucking killed that shit, bro. Sheesh. Flossmily stand up. Big sheesh. You already know what the fuck it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Monday, 8 p.m. You know what time it is. The Main Gaming Weekly Series, $1,000 on the line, is back. We're better than ever, and we're back on Twitch. My name is Stento, here with my co-host, as always, Blitz5, and we're tuned up for an amazing, amazing event tonight. Blitz, what's standing out on your mind before we jump into the action tonight?
Well, for me, the first thing that stands out in my mind is what kind of players do we have on the teams, because we still kind of have, I feel like, some continuous team changes right now.
Absolutely.
I'm looking through, it seems like some people are locked in, but I'm also seeing some different names for Main Gaming tonight as well, and a few other teams in here. So really just trying to get it sorted, and I guess we're going to figure it out while we watch these 5 great games today. The first one obviously being on Erangel.
Yeah, there again, it's a little bit of a roster mania for here in the console scene. Something that's standing out to me is some of the bigger names that you know. Quavoff used to be on K7. Now he's on a different team, VK Virtual Kings. His old team is in this match tonight. So I think we're going to see Aimbot and Destroya and the likes of Kinetic 7 going up against Quavoff and his new squad, as well as Zodiac Gaming, one of the top teams involved tonight. We've got the Dub Hub. We've got some of our normal teams, Console Killers, 187Zs. Main Gaming does not have Acid Burn tonight, but they'll still be in there. And we've got a couple new teams in there as well, ladies and gentlemen, but that is enough chatting for me and Blitz. The first plane path is up in Adam. Blitz, what are we looking at?
We got a Lipovka start here going all the way down to the military base. What's interesting about this is it's only on the bottom right side of the map here. So definitely going to be some alternate drops right now, maybe some fighting over Milta and Mini Milta. And then, as we always say, high probability of a military circle here, or at least the circle touching the military island. Very high probability. So kind of risky play here, Stento, for CK Console Killers and P9 to be going so high up here. I mean, obviously the circle could end up landing on them, but I feel like I would definitely try to go for a safer alternate drop here somewhere in the middle. Obviously teams like Crazy Mob and teams that land on the water here are going to be in a great kind of middle spot to start.
Yeah, such an interesting plane path, isn't it? This is going to limit so many teams from their normal drops. Nobody is going to be able to get up to that Zarky George Pool area of the map. And as you mentioned, this is such a typical military zone plane path. As you know, that first circle has to touch the plane path. I think we're seeing some punches out here, Blitz. I'm going to try to get into the action. RR just punched out Looks like up near prison, they maybe near a car punched out someone.
So
but
yeah, so we saw this with Vigorous last time. RR fought Vigorous over that car. So Wiz fought over one of the SOB guys at that car and gets away. And I just want to point out that we have the circle pop. It did go to the main island, so those teams like CK ended up being okay. And now we're going to have teams like PI and BM that landed at Primorse. They're going to be in the city together, and now they're super far away from the zone. And yeah, I'm just surprised here for some of the drops. And really, we keep seeing this in the weekly tournaments that only really K7 is dropping military base. I'm just really surprised that nobody else is contesting them there.
I thought with that plane path they would be contested as well, but as you mentioned, K7, the only team down there on Sosnovka Island. Our first circle has shifted, and it looks like prison and that mansion area are going to be centered up. Lipovka is not a bad spot as well for 20 Squad North. Lots of teams jumped towards the end of the plane path, trying to figure out potentially having how to go over the island blitz. BM, MG, AFI. I think that's a typical kind of second AFI drop. We see them usually take Hospital to George Pool. And if they can't get up there, typically they drop down near this bridge area, expecting a military base zone or something. We'll see this affinity squad down here. But for now, they're going to have a decent rotation. We're not really looking at too many teams hot dropping. The only thing we saw, RR did pick up 1 kill on Team 16, the SOB squad. And that's about it right now. Everyone else is just going to be looting up and working on their rotations for now, Blitz.
I think we might see a clash here at some point between Team PI and BM here. Also, just wanted to point out that they're in Primorsk, but we have Dubhub back in tonight. Their team disbanded not so long ago, and they've been fielding some different players. I don't know if they were in the event last week. They might have been. I don't remember seeing them off the top of my head. So now they have a different team with Laser, Zach Baby, and 2 names I'm not super familiar with there. So again, part of that switch up for people that are listening, but everybody knows the Dubhub team if you've been following console gaming on PUBG.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic to see the Dubhub get back in there. Definitely familiar with some of those names. Laser's been around forever. Zach Baby. Pole might be Polinar. He's been around for a while as well. So lots of teams starting the rotation. Crazy Mob, Zodiac Gaming, both kind of rotating past the shelter area right now. One on the west side, one on the east side. And the Dubhub, who we were just mentioning, might rotate directly into Crazy Mob here. I'm going to tap into Pole's perspective here. He might be running up right onto some of the Crazy Mob. It's going to be Dreams waiting right there.
And Dreams could get out here. They're going to continue to go, but they are looking backwards. He's got the progressive AUG skin here. We're also seeing a few teams rotate to the east of prison. We have 3 teams pretty close to one another that I'm watching. Dubhub is all over the place. They're in between Crazy Mob, RR, Zodiac Gaming. Zodiac Gaming getting really close. I think we're going to see a fight here. RR Brody and ZG Mark here right east of prison.
They have
sneak
no
up
idea.
on Brody.
They had no idea that they were there. Mark was just waiting for the perfect time to shoot. Drops Brody. It looked like Brody and Shanks were taking sight lines onto that 20 squad north side, just to the northeast of them. That's where it looked like Brody was looking, and they just had no idea that Mark and Edu Luxo were waiting there. The second player, Shanks, was down to 1 shot. He was able to get back to the rocks, perhaps might work his way down and into prison. This ZG team is one of our top teams, and they're definitely going to demand a little bit of respect and be looking for another kill if they do recognize that there was just one other player here. They're going to be looking for it, but for now, seem to be tending to their loot box. Shanks just hanging out on the low side of the rocks, and as I mentioned a second ago, 20 squad north in that compound with 4 buildings over there. It's a popular spot when we do zone over here, although you are somewhat limited in that compound with the your ability to frag, Blitz.
Oh, absolutely. It's a safe spot, but you said it right. You definitely are limited there. Also, kind of odd being outside of prison this early on, right? Usually that's where people go in the end game. That's a strong spot to be in. A lot of circles end over there. But just not a great spot for Zodiac here on this big of a circle. So we'll see what they do, if they stay there, if they head out.
So Blitz, is this going to be our first event casting together where there are shenanigans in esports? Do we know, have they brought the emergency airlift? Can you use those type of things in ranked, in esports?
You know what, Stento? That's a great question, because that came in with the last update.
Yeah,
so
we'll have to keep an eye out for it. I haven't been tuning into enough BGE recently, so I'm not honestly familiar with if that's incorporated yet. So
Well,
maybe we'll
Spencer,
have
I
to
think
ask
we
a
might
couple
have
of
just seen K7 take this in because they're parachuting in. I wasn't sure if console got the custom game update for this for esports, but K7 just parachuted in. There's no way they had a parachute any other way. So I think you're right, dude. Great call. We might see some of the other items here today, including the emergency pickup.
Yeah, that'll be really interesting. For those of you guys who aren't aware, some of the items that are in ranked PUBG, for example, the emergency airlift, the plane that lifts you into the sky and brings you to zone, and a couple other things, I believe the folded shield, and maybe another thing or two, have plans to enter the esports arena here and ranked. So ranked and esports loot and rules will be totally aligned. And once again, I have been seeing the emergency airdrops in ranked, so I think that means that we're already going to be seeing them in these tournaments as well. So keep an eye out for it, ladies and gentlemen. We might have people parachuting on top of one another, on top of high advantageous locations throughout the night. We'll keep a big eye out for it, especially on Miramar Blitz. So many high spots in our third game of the day, but it looks like VK in a little bit of a scrap. They've taken down one of the 187Z members. That's going to be Sizzle, I think, going down in rotation. VK pulled up in this I was gonna say dip, but they're on a little bit of a hill over here. Looks like Sizzle in the wide open field. They're just too many long range shots from these VK guys. We know what they're capable of at range.
Yeah, for sure. When you play in these games, the at-range accuracy is just so much greater than playing, in a casual or normal match that you just have to kind of demand that respect. Some of these players are so great, especially at kind of doing the wiggle peak with some of the DMRs, which is just not an easy thing to do on console.
It sounds like someone saw the latest Wacky Jackie emote coming to PUBG soon. Did you catch that on Twitter today?
Of course.
That's
Incredible. I actually saw him post that live on stream on Friday.
That's awesome.
And incredible emote coming. Big shout out to PUBG for doing stuff like that. And obviously shout out to Wacky Jackie to be one of the best content creators out there. For sure. But just going to the back of your point, man, it is really interesting for people out there. So PUBG is trying their best to make people more engaged in playing ranked and also more engaged in watching esports. So they're trying to align the game more closely from just a normal match all the way to esports, what Sento just mentioned about things being added in. And I haven't played ranked this season, but there are some changes. Destin's added in now, and players are having to deal with this. And I actually saw some
I'll get you
pro
out there.
players on PC talking about how they were kind of testing the limits and they were using multiple pickups just to see how bad they could abuse it. And that team said they ended up winning a few of the games just because of that. So
Interesting.
Just like we saw some teams like and players like Quavoff use the mutant, it's like what players are going to take advantage of these things? Because some people, again, we talk about this, some pro players and console competitive players really know some of the nuances. Like, do people know that you can take the pickup until phase 4 closes? So you could wait phase 4, circle could be closing in, and with 10 seconds left, you could put that pickup down and use it for a very, very late rotation. Some people don't know the nuances of all the items in the game. So teams that do, I think, will be able to capitalize on that even more so.
Yeah, absolutely. If you take a look at your map blitz, we're about to have phase 1, 5 seconds until it touches up. Tons of teams are really close in the center of zone, very comfortable. The second shift is going to determine a lot for these guys. CK, P9, all of these teams on the north side. Wow, AFI, as you're looking right now, I believe we're catching
teams are
AFI.
coming in.
Yep, AFI is using the airlift right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're watching it in live time. Let's see where they land. I'm with Omerta right now. He's got the
This is
squad
crazy
with him
to watch
parachuting
this.
down. Yeah, it really is.
From a spectator perspective in this kind of event.
I think they're just looking for, like, kind of to get onto this hillside and maybe to push the top of Woodyard Blitz.
Also crazy because you really don't know if someone's in a compound, but it's safer than driving by, right? Because people aren't going to hear the car. I mean, they'll hear your
Yeah,
parachute.
they've got to be
Excuse me.
careful. They've got Zodiac Gaming definitely saw them. The team
That's the
hanging
thing.
out.
People are going to be looking out for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Zodiac Gaming saw them. They landed far enough away from ZG, so they're going to be all right. But just as I expected, I think they're going to run up to this little wood yard up here. There's a couple houses and a spawn vehicle. So they're going to try to get resituated up here. Omerta's leading the way for the AFI boys. If you're not familiar with Affinity, Baby Joey, Zolodi, Omerta, Mick filling in today for their other Hobie, I suppose. This team has been probably the longest standing console team out there, as we were talking about in our pregame today. A little bit of a roster mania, lots of the top players switching around, finding a new home. But this team, Baby Joey, Zalodi, Omerta, Hobie, those four in particular have been together for years, and I just want to give them a big shout out, man. Like that type of dedication to one another's very impressive, and they're one of the top teams. They've been winning leagues, winning tournaments for a very long time now. So just a massive shout out to one of the OG squads sticking together for a very long time here.
Absolutely, it is impressive. As you were mentioning, that SOB ran into a rock stento right outside of P9, literally drove into a rock, got stuck there. P9 and K7 shooting at them, they're eliminated. First team out, I think, of today. And then right now, with this circle center up, we have 3 teams right at prison, and then the 2 teams south of prison at the Lumberyard, Dub Hub and Affinity here.
Yeah, this north side is going to get a little sticky for some of these squads. P9, CK, 187Zs, and even K7 up the hill aren't going to have much time to hang out here. And there you go. We're having a fight break out here. Albo gets a knock with the AK onto Savage. I'm going to get right over there. They're pushing into the bunker. The 187Zs are in big trouble here, Blitz.
Yeah, I mean, Legends perspective, last one up here getting pushed by the entire team is going to get taken out. CK is going to take over the bunker area, which... I mean, this was added a long time ago, but great addition when they remastered Erangel so long ago here. This is an awesome kind of spot to save face on this area of the map.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what this area looked like pre-bunker installation, but I honestly don't remember. But that's such a valuable spot in some of these zones that are really tough to play, right? Once it pulls away to the north side of prison, this wide open field. So I think it was a much needed kind of addition to this area, and you love to see lots of teams take it, you know, when they're broken teams. I think that 187Zs were down to just 2 players there, kind of holding tough there. And CK identified that, got a knock and pushed right into it. Not very easy to hold once you're actually forced into this bunker. If teams are pushing onto you, it's kind of tough to just hold that bunker. So personally, I like to, if it's possible, you know, play the hill around it. But again, there's so many teams around that, you know, early game, you're going to be kind of forced into that bunker and a little bit restricted. But CK are going to be kind of happy with that next circle up. Phase 3 is going to keep them pretty centered up here, Blitz. Only TSN and maybe ZG are a little better off than they are.
Sento, in my opinion, this is one of the more difficult circles, in competitive play, because prison can be so difficult to play around. The Lumberyard, some of the circles in the water, really no point into going to Lipovka. I mean, maybe you could stay there for a zone here, but this is most likely going to end in the kind of open woods to the east of prison, and just really difficult place to play because there's not a lot of hard cover, just a lot of trees. So there's going to be a bloodbath here in the next 10 minutes with a lot of teams, I think, getting eliminated trying to fit in this circle without a lot of hard cover.
Yeah, it's an interesting start here. I'm going to actually get over to Main Gaming versus Crazy Mob here. We're seeing 2 go down. Crazy Mob working their way through MG here. Fal's going to need to do something quick. He's resorted to just that rock there. He's got all sorts of angles on him. Swag, the last member up here as Crazy Mob, most through MG. I caught over to this battle a little bit late. They're trying to figure out where that final MG member is. Swag has retreated a little bit west, though. Problem seems to know exactly where she is, however.
That was tough. I saw Fal had double AR, so I don't know if he had one with a scope or not, or it seemed like they might have been missing some of the ideal loot. They were also trying to go for some long sprays with red dots, so maybe they just weren't completely kitted up where they wanted to be there. And then also, again, those fights on the side of the hill with not much cover are really tough. We have some fighting on the north and south side of the map. Let me know where you head over to. I guess just shots actually during rotations there.
Lots of teams rotating. We're seeing the prison inmates take the north side around to Lipovka with K7 shooting at them. We're seeing Team Eno take the south side, and VK
this seems to be a newer team, right? Have we seen them in the weeklies? Prison inmates, their car's on fire, Stento. They lost one out of the car. They're not going to get out in time, Stento.
Oh,
they do, but then they blow up to the car. They were trying to get to the wall, and 2 blew up in the wall. They got out too late there.
These are big kills going to K7 there. They're picked up 5 already, so a great start for Kinetic 7. 3 to Q, 1 to Warhawk, 1 to Aimbot. And they're going to have plenty of real estate here. Warhawk pulling into the side of this hill, and nobody's really around besides for Phase 9, which is hanging out in that blue compound we watched a little bit ago where that other team crashed nearby. But they're down low in those houses, kind of restricted to that area until they decide to to leave, or Blue Zone kind of pulls them out up the hill. But they're gonna have a tough time if K7's sitting on that hill blitz, especially with CK just to the south side in this bunker.
Absolutely. Looks like one of the members of Crazy Mob went down, and they're up on the kill leader right now. Kill rankings, excuse me. This is with VK Virtual Kings, and again, one of the top teams to look out for tonight takes out Crazy Mob, who, if you missed last week, Crazy Mob came out mobbing last week. They won a game or two. They played very, very well. They were, contending for, first place for a lot of the last week. So unfortunate for them to get taken out. Still pretty early with 12 teams remaining in game 1 of tonight on Erangel.
Yeah, we haven't caught much action from the Virtual Kings early on, but they have 4 kills. Sneaking them in there. Quavoff, Linkadox, Tourney. I'm still yet to really get familiar with Sweezy, but I'm sure we will by the end of the evening here, Blitz. Next shift went directly onto prison.
Now as you back to prison.
Yeah, as you predicted, I think we're going to end just to the east side of prison in those woods. And ZG have had it staked out for a while since we saw them pull up on the Rico's Roughnecks. They've got 2 kills. So they're just going to be comfortably waiting here. The kills will come when you're in this good of position. And ZG, you just need to keep 4 up here.
Sento Eno has nowhere to go. If they go north, they go into AFI. We're going to see a fight break out between them and Torch. Torch is actually going to be gatekeeping them. And again, I just want to point out, this is where you could actually use a pickup still right here. This is the last chance to use it. So if Eno squad had a pickup, they could have maybe used it from the blue. They don't, though. Now they're stuck here on foot. OH getting the confirm on verbal.
Yeah, Torch have all sorts of angles here, Blitz. Fizz is on the roof, has sight lines on a couple different members, and the rest of the team, OH and Tick, kind of meeting Team Eno head on, not letting them push into zone. Eno really doesn't have anywhere to go here. The third parties are starting to ring out from up the hill. I believe that's from AFI. Lanane, it has basically started the only option they have, which is to wrap up this hill. But again, they're going to have AFI waiting for them if they do get spotted. I think the third party shots were already coming. But they're going to need to get up that hill pretty quickly.
I just don't. Neither choice for them is good, but going north, I think, is the better fight for them right now. So Dowdy now hopping, gonna get them spotted. The only thing that could backfire is that not all of AFI is here, and AFI also needs to be focusing on Torch, because Torch could come in third party this whole fight.
Joey's about to get floored here, Blitz. He was looking down the hill, and Max snuck right up on him and dropped him. He's looking around to see if anyone else is in the immediate vicinity. I think he's going to get his thirst here. Ooh, actually,
yeah,
Zach,
that was big.
Yeah, it was a big play to stay up there and work his way into zone potentially. Omerta is close by, and I think he already has a drop on Max. Og versus
That's
Barrel
crazy that
here.
Zach Baby stole that kill. Max goes down, and all that flank effort kind of goes to the wayside there.
Yeah, it was a nice thirst from Zach Baby for the dub hub. It had to be quick. It had to be a headshot as Max was coming up there with the AUG to get that thirst, but Baby Joey unfortunately didn't spot that flank there. He was looking just beyond Max there at some of the other members for Team Eno. So unfortunate there for AFI losing one of their top players in Baby Joey, but they still have 2 kills and they're in a decent spot here. They do need to be careful. Torch is lurking on the southern edge just to the east side, Blitz.
I called this zone. Shifting to the east of prison is going to be this zone in the middle, in the open.
That's impossible. It's
so hard. You need so many smokes. It's so hard to play this. You really, there's no like advantageous position really. It's very, very tough.
In this situation, I think you want to be ZG or TSN coming out of that compound, but again, nothing is good because the angles are going to be just insane from so many different teams here. You honestly might even want to be RR coming out of the low depths of prison late. They're nice and safe in there. They're just not going to be able to do much until late, but several teams here, Blood Money, CK, starting their rotations.
All surrounding prison. Yeah, I agree. I think Zodiac has the best spot. We'll see if RR can do anything. They're missing a member. BM and VK are going to run into each other. VK rolled on the Crazy Mob earlier, so let's see how this fight's going to go. It's about to break out here.
Tourney has spotted all of them. He dropped one. The trade comes out, though. Lyrical is there. So we've got a nice 3v3 going on here. Blood Money versus VK. The shots are putting both members weak. Linkadox is about at 1 health. Lyrical down to below half.
Yeah, Lyrical needs to make a flank here to help out from the left. He's going to hit a nade. This could be pretty crucial here. He's cooking it. I like this. Not just throwing it uncooked, but doesn't go far enough.
1 revive has come up. That's Blood Money back to 4 strong here. It needs to be quick push, but a good nade from Linkadox. The trades are back and forth, Blitz here. It's a 2v3 now as Sweezy goes
and
down.
the zone's coming in, so these knocks aren't going to get picked up at this point. Comedy's trying to go for one more pickup on Lyrical, but Salak's not going to be able to go up, and then they get flushed there. Linkadox with a big play.
Yeah, Link with some big plays. They're going to need to... Oh, I was wondering if they're going to be able to get Sweezy up with the backpack maneuver, but they're going to take one. Linkadox is going to lead the way. So big battle there. Lots of trades going out. Ooh. Some revives coming up. The third party's playing a small factor, I believe.
I don't know if they're going to be able to get in here. Tourney gets eliminated. Quavoff down just a little bit of help trying to jump to the tree. Gets knocked while he 360s. Link goes left, though, and is actually still up. You don't want to be on that side there.
Yeah, Link sneaking in on this edge. I believe it was Shanks that picked up the knock onto Quavoff, but there's just high angles, low angles from down in prison. Everyone is looking at this edge right now.
CK stole ZG's spot and actually has 2 members of ZG knocked over here, and they're pushing like sharks in the water here. Flush comes down. If they take this spot, this could be huge for the console killers, and they actually played really well yesterday, Stento. But Coma gets knocked behind, kind of stopping their push here. So Bazaar has to come back and look for Linkadox. Wow, there's 2 knocked for ZG. There's literally only 1 left for ZG, but they don't want to lose to Linkadox here. So they're coming back.
Yeah, Linkadox really threw a little bit of a wrench in their plan here. ZG is going for 1 revive on influx. Paulo Sam's going to be able to get that up. There's smoke on the field. I think Edu Lux was a little bit too low. And I think CK is going to be able to get back to 4 strong here. I'm going to tap into Linkadox's perspective. He's pushing hard onto his own knock here.
And 20 Squad South is showing up here too, right behind CK. And he takes out Coma and Bazaar. And Linkadox here just to get the flush kills.
Link seals them both. A savvy veteran comes in, steals both the kills. Unfortunate from CK here. That knock onto Coma really ruined their push. You'd think they were going to push all the way through ZG and have some success there if they didn't have to go back for Coma. But that just kind of split their team up and pulled them back down the rock splits. And unfortunately, a timely push from TSN just really gave them no shot there.
Wow, and that gave Linkadox and the team 10 total kills with those 2 steals, Stento. So that came in actually really huge there as the last member up here.
Linkadox is playing with nothing to lose here. So, you know, he knew the knocks were there. The second he saw another one go down, he pokes over the hill and thirsts them both and retracts back down the hill. So he's still alive. You got to look out for that man, Linkadox. He's lurking on the edge. Shots trading out from console killers, TSN here. A couple of broken teams now hanging out on the top of the prison rocks between Zodiac Gaming, a 2-man, CK, a 2-man, AFI is a 2-man. There are several solos and duos hanging out inside of prison. I'm going to try to get over to this AFI and Kinetic 7 fight here. It's already popped off here, but we've got Mick doing all he can to kind of get back to Zalodi and figure out where the rest of K7 is.
Yeah, last one left here. They have 5 kills of their own. He's got a good rotation here. The AUG 4 times. I've been having a little bit of trouble spraying this, so I want to see how Mick does. But it doesn't even get a chance to and gets immediately eliminated by Q there.
A great start for K7 here. We tapped into their perspective earlier on and they were rolling, but they're up to 13 kills already, Blitz. Wow. Warhawk already seems to be getting involved with something else. I think he might have spotted some of the 20 Squad North members, and he's going to try to rotate around the low side to the east here and maybe get a little bit of this terrain in front of him. He's scoping it out. He's got the 4X on his AUG now as well. I think that's a popular spray scope and gun at this point. The AUG 4X is a lot of players are running that in this competition already today. So going to continue to see a lot of it as Warhawk pushes down the hill. He's got a lot of terrain to work with here. If he can get the rest of the squad, they're going to be able to get set up pretty nicely here throughout the field here. As you know, the rest of these teams, 7 teams are going to be working their way out of this mess of prison here, Blitz.
I mean, most likely this zone's going to leave prison here. And what's tough is that you have 1 solo dub hub member here. Linkadox is blocking the exit, but actually, Sento, it stays on prison. So these teams don't need to leave yet. But when they do, if they do, because I'm assuming they're going to have to leave eventually, it's going to be pretty tough for those teams. And I also just want to point out that 20 Squad North, while aggressive team and left the compound looking for kills, is actually at 0 kills right now. But they are at 4 strong. So will they take a dub here? We'll wait and find out with 7 teams remaining. But they definitely going to be looking to get some kills here and get a higher score for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a slow round so far for TSN, but I think they're kind of in the best position here to pull out the chicken. They need to keep this 4 strong. They've been playing it very
Absolutely.
passive as they came out of the compound. They pushed up onto CK, kind of third party to battle there, but they're just doing a really good job of staying 4 deep here. They've kind of got like a 3-headed monster hanging out in the center there, while Psy watches the low side and make sure no one sneaks out of prison onto their backside. So I really like the setup they have here as shots continue to pop off in prison. The only other thing to really pay attention to is how dominant of a split can Kinetic 7 get on this southeast side of zone. ZG continuing to pick up kills. We're gonna jump over there. They've got 7. One of our teams to watch again tonight is Zodiac Gaming, Paulo Salmon, Influx. Only one's alive for the squad right now, but they're still in a decent spot here, Blitz.
Yeah, there's actually this big kind of ditch where ZG is in, and it goes up and down here, kind of leading to CK. That's why it's so hard for K7 to push right now, because you're basically pushing over the ditch, right? And so these teams kind of have a little bit of the head glitch, the better view. So K7's looking for a path here, but now they're getting tagged by TSN. But ultimately, K7 probably feels pretty confident with their distance shooting here. They have aimbot kind of pinned down. Q's trying to make a move up. If Q gets a knock, this could lead a push, and I don't think ZG or CK are going to want to leave their spots on the wall. And here we go, just like I mentioned, Caillou goes down. Now the nades are coming in.
Oh, the third party in the backside of K7 here. They heard the knock come out and tried to get a little bit better angle. So Warhawk was put weak, about half health from the third party there. It looks like they've got a nice smoke wall. TSN returning fire here. Psy takes
big
down
knock by
aimbot.
Psy.
Massive knock for this 20 squad North team. They spotted Q as well, and it's a great knock. PYM continuing a great hold. They got KYU up with a nice smoke wall, and now this squad is continuing to frag out. Blitz, this is one of our teams in Discord. We're gonna jump on with 20 squad North here for an Astro listen in to close out this match, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Let's go, boys.
I need to get meds off his body real fast.
Sento!
Yeah.
There's still a dude
Focus
right
out,
here.
focus out.
On green.
I'm holding it right.
I got some throwables. I don't really have smokes. I got a 2 lethals and a tactical. We're in zone. We don't really got to push those rocks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back over to yellow.
I'm gonna watch this high left.
Watch that right really quick, Tony. Yeah, we should
That's one
get
down for
aggro.
CK. There's only one up on for ZK, CK, and I think they're up on the rocks.
I think there's 4 up for ZG. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, but they'd be playing down low, right?
Yeah.
I think we walk on CK and get him out of here.
Just moved around my ping over there, southwest, orange mark.
He's right in front of you, Prime.
Hey, one
One
knock
down.
for ZG.
One's on the right,
I'm
over 290,
gonna get up a little bit.
around these
This one
rocks,
left then.
right there, corner.
Is that
I'm
a
up on the
thirst?
rocks. Yeah, that's a thirst for VK.
I got one.
I'm coming.
Got the other one. They're dead.
One's still on my ping, CK. I think
Copy.
VK's down under, bro.
Maybe it's just one.
I hear footsteps on me.
He's right on yellow.
Jaeger's dead. Well, I
just
mean,
one
I
up.
think they lost. They're gonna go die to zone, I think. That'd be the smart play.
It's only one up.
So a great ending here for TSN. We haven't seen them in the weekly in a little bit here, ladies and gentlemen, but coming on strong. We saw them take a really good position very early on and just keep 4 up throughout the entire match there. There was a lot going on these prison rocks for a long time, and they just kind of hung out on the northeast side, played their ridge, and when the time was right, pushed in Blitz. They've got 6 kills now. This is going to be an easy chicken as the final remaining member is down below the rocks. Yeah, Shanks has no option, just going to die to zone here. So going to be a nice 6-kill win for 20 Squad North. Going to be a packed leaderboard because we saw several teams break that 10-kill mark. So I think we're going to have a very hotly contested leaderboard after match 1 here. But TSN...
I was just going to say that we saw a bunch of teams playing very well there. ZG Virtual Kings, a lot of teams getting a bunch of kills. And as you mentioned here, TSN coming in first place with 6 kills. Good move from RR. It's just 1 point, but you might as well defend it and keep it to yourself at that point. And honestly, great that RR lost a member early, ended up in second. Probably wanted more kills there, but they'll take it. CK in third, ZG in fourth, and Virtual Kings in fifth. Stento, what a wild, wild finish. We kind of called that early on, and you called it with TSM. Getting out there, being in that great spot. It's just, when do you want to be there? They got there kind of late, and that's where you want to be in that spot, because that is a deadly zone.
Yeah, for me, I love the spot that Zodiac Gaming took. It's just too early on. If you kind of spread along those rocks, you're going to be dealing with multiple teams. And I think at one point, Console Killers snuck up on them, and that kind of started the downfall of ZG's spot there. But they were one of several teams that picked up, looks like 9 kills in that round. So VK, ZG, K7, lots of the familiar names picking up impressive kill marks. But 20 Squad North, a nice controlled round, six kills in a win. They didn't even, they took 1 knock, I think. And when I was tuning into their battles there at the end, they were winning a lot of gunfights versus some good players, some of the ZG members and CK. So we're gonna keep a good eye on 20 Squad North throughout the rest of the evening here. We'll get map 2 set up for you guys in just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. It's not a game, this is life, we don't play around. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Hit your brain, leave a stain, put you underground. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Suppressor on the sniper, you won't hear a sound. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Be aggressive, better push if you get her down. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Just landed, about to turn the city to a ghost town. Floss God, all that chicken getting hog-tied. Better stick together, cause I'm coming for your whole squad. Players unknown, aim for your cheekbone. Put you on a tombstone, I'm a walking red zone. Dropping bombs like it's Vietnam. Gotta remain calm, better give some good comms. Hit your target, so get departed. Shooting like James Harden, been here since it started. Always gonna support it. Hit a crazy shot, I know I'm getting reported. Practice get you rewarded. Don't ride by me. If you in the boat, I'm leaving you in the sea. Another casualty, feel bad for my enemies. If you go against me, Floss God, bring the heat. It's in the game, PUBG. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. It's not a game, this is life, we don't play around. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Hit your brain, leave a stain, put you underground. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Suppressor on the sniper, you won't hear a sound. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Be aggressive, better push if you get it down. Flow is amazing, your style is basic. No, I'm not saving, whole team get wasted. Can't beat me, face it, don't get complacent. Blue zone, I'm chasing, no car, I hate it. But I love it, I'm addicted. Only thing I'm eating, I'm addicted to the chicken. All the PUBG players gonna feel it. Even in real life, I carry around a skillet. Season 11, barrel got nerfed, but the scar getting replenished. You can be my apprentice, whole team relentless. Your team defenseless, too big, tremendous. Floss God, no dentist. Real shooter, this is players unknown. Only game that can put you in the zone. No practice, had to get it on our own. PUBG, welcome to the real war zone. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. It's not a game, this is life, we don't play around. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Hit your brain, leave a stain, put you underground. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Suppressor on the sniper, you won't hear a sound. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Be aggressive, better push if you get it down.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Main Gaming Weekly Series. This is a $1,000 tournament that is free to join. Anyone is welcome to enter. So if you are a PUBG console player and have any questions at all about how to join, how to get involved with Main Gaming events, please feel free to ask myself, any Main Gaming member, any moderators in the chat. The entire goal for our team with our events is to grow the scene and keep building on what we already have. So I want to thank you guys for watching tonight. I also want to remind you, if you aren't following us on Twitter or Discord, that tonight at the end of match 5, we're going to put a poll up in chat for MVP. We will have 5 different players from tonight's action up in a poll there, and I want to encourage everyone to stay until match 5 and vote on that poll. The winner of the MVP vote will be taking home a pair of Astro A3 earbuds tonight. But that's going to be after match 5, Blitz. We're diving into match 2, our second Erangel of the evening. What's that playing path looking like?
Here we go. A little similar, but more of the map is available this time in game 2. Plane path going all the way from Stallbird down to military base, but military base in the flight path again. And we're sort of on the east side here, just not as dramatic as last time. And we're seeing some early jumps here. We got a Kamishki jump off the bat and some teams going in the area of Yasnaya, and we'll see who ends up taking military base. Again, we've been watching, and really only K7's been going there, so will we see some other teams take this spot? But with this plane path, it could really go anywhere here, north to south.
Yeah, I love this plane path for that reason exactly. We could be coming down to military base, or we could be going to the north of Stallbird. That's really the great thing about a plane path like this, is that so much of the map north to south is involved. We're not going to really see much on the west side of the map for action in this round, but as you can see, K7 once again the only squad going down to military base. AFI and Main Gaming dropping in the same spot. The Dub Hub classic snake drop for them. I believe Zodiac Gaming over here have kind of staked out Milta, and we know that Crazy Mob has been landing farm ever since we have started our Main Gaming weekly series years ago now. But a nice split. I'm taking a look around the map here, Blitz, and I'm not seeing any hot drops. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I'm not seeing anything right now. Apartments are empty, and we're going to have a direct center zone. So this is going to be playable for pretty much everybody. A lot of compounds obviously available, especially in the center there. And again, only one team, K7, went to the military base there, Stento.
Yeah, not really the circle you want from military base, but those guys are plenty experienced with how to rotate out of there. So we'll have to keep an eye on them. We also need to remember that the new edition of the emergency airdrop. So that's probably biggest for a team that's going to be like K7 and be going to this island a majority of the time. Those airdrops, if they can dig one out each round, they really have an escape valve from that island no matter what. It's also going to affect the rotations back down to military base island. So we haven't seen one since we've done our weeklies with the new update Blitz. We haven't gone down to military base island, but that's really going to prevent those bridge trap situations and provide all these teams another escape and another way to get onto the island, and especially onto, you know, the mountains and high up areas on the island. So those emergency airlifts are really going to play such a factor here and really bring in a new element to the game.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you mentioned earlier that really the pickups are going to be crazy on Miramar because there's just so many more large mountains compared to Erangel on that map. But yeah, I really want to see how people adjust to it. I mean, will there be teams that are going to use maybe 2 this round, right? You could technically, if you find them, you could use 2, you could use 3, you could use one off the bat and then save one for later. You could play the outside and just wait for a really long time to rotate. We saw most of the pickups being used, I feel like. We saw a couple people coming in phase 2 and early phase 3, but again, you could have used it right pretty late there. So most people used it a little early, and we'll see how that plays out. We might be seeing Virtual King Stento rolls out of Pachinki already and might catch one member of Eno by themselves. I don't know how aggressive VK is going to get. Quavov's also coming with a vehicle right now. This could alert Eno if he hears the vehicle coming from Quavov. We'll see if he hits the engine or what he's going to do here.
Tony has spotted Fortier.
Okay, and he did hit the engine, but good call out there that Tony spotted Fortier. Excuse me. Fortier hasn't spotted them yet.
No, though. Fortier I think has no idea. He's just looting all innocent down there, and Tony's got his exact location. He actually hasn't Now, I don't think he has the information. The rest of VK is already in the compound. Quavov is wrapping. The ridge is on the north side. So unless Fortier gets some help quick, he's going to be in a world of hurt here as he's getting these comms. Quavov is getting these communications from Tony and the rest of the squad. They know exactly where Fortier is. I think they've located him pushing into the two-story. It's just how much does Fortier know? How much can he communicate to his team that he needs help? Because he's going to need to learn that. He's going to need to figure out this pretty quick, Blitz, because VK is not a team that wastes time at all.
He must have just heard somebody, dude. He went to the corner up against the bed frame there. Now he's laying down out of sight from the garage building. It's actually a pretty good spot to lay down in, honestly, for him.
He needs to
He's
get
out
his
of vision
team
in the garage
over
building.
ASAP. Quavov isn't wasting time at all. They know it's one here because of how he's playing it. A good player can sense that if people aren't out and about shooting, that there's going to be one, maybe two in this compound. Fortier with a great play, though. However, Sweezy is there for the trade. Quavov is going to be lucky there, but I don't think the timing's going to be right for this Eno squad. However, they are rolling up, but Sweezy drops another one out of the car.
Oh, but Verbal got on the roof here without even noticing he was there, and he gets Sweezy down. So we have 3 down for Eno, 2 down for VK, but Linkodoc's already getting that revive on Quavov.
It's a 1v1. It's a
I didn't see
1v1
Tony
right
was
now,
down.
but Link is Link has gotten that revive onto Quavov now on the top floor. He's looking for this final member. He's gonna
Quavov
wait
just
for
got the
Q.
first
I
aid
think he's
off.
gonna wait for Q. Wisely, Q comes down. They get a little bit of a pinch. So, wow, insane plays there from Eno. They almost dug themselves out of a little bit of a hole by some good drive. Like, was that a drive-by? I missed exactly how they got a couple
Max
knocks.
got killed out of the car, and honestly, if Max survived that, they probably win that fight. But getting him out of the car was such a big early knock there that it really helped save face for them for sure.
I love the plays from Eno to try to save face there, full sending and almost getting the entire squad there. But DK is
I
just
like
too
that.
strong.
I hope that, is like a confidence boost sort of, because they were right there. I mean, they were just like an inch off taking out one
If
of the best
that goes
teams.
down a couple more times, the timing is slightly different. They're going to handle it.
Totally. And that's honestly, that's one of the top teams, and that could really have hurt them for their race to place in first tonight. But VK survives, and they're 4 strong still after that.
Yep. So big plays for them. VK is such a frag heavy team, so they love to get kills early on, and keeping 4 strong is just something that is going to be a big issue for this lobby if those guys get moving.
So Blood Money here taking a great spot across the street from the apartments. Hitta just got a care package, trying to see what he got out of it. He got an MG3, and he is going to take that.
I love to see that. That gun can be one of the more devastating guns in the game, and obviously with the 75 round mag on 990 in the right situation, you can just do things that other guns can't, whether it's devastate a vehicle or get massive cover fire down for your squad. It's just a gun that's unlike anything else. I think to get the full usage out of it, you do need to be in that prone position, which obviously in a ranked situation, in a competitive situation, obviously not the best to be prone in too much, but such an interesting gun.
It's arguably the best gun in the game. It's like a LMG Vector up close with a fast, but mid to long range, you're right. It's a risk reward. If you control the spray, it's great, but it's easy to lose control, and then you could end up losing a battle versus someone with a barrel or an M4, right? Because people are just so locked in with those guns, and that if you make one little mistake with the MG3 and just start shooting above their head or something, for example, it kind of costs you. But I like the risk reward play. I enjoy that gun. And here we're seeing K7 just took a really aggressive position outside of VK here. This is an early spot for K7 to take. This is a spot that you take normally when the zone is closed up a lot. But to be here early on is definitely kind of a flex, saying we're here in this whole middle open area. If you guys want to try to move out or fight, we're down. So I wonder what's going to happen here. If they'll hold it for a while, if they're going to head out. We'll
yeah,
keep
it's
track
definitely
of what's
a
going
tough
on.
spot to hold early on if too many angles. start to come into factor here, and they're gonna need to be careful because I believe VK knows they're here now, because Tony and Sweezy are just to the south, and Quavoff and Linkadox, the other two members for the Virtual Kings, are gonna have an angle, you know, in some of these situations here. So K7 in a very popular spot, but early on, you just got to be really careful here. I think they've pulled their cars up into a good spot. And the interesting thing that I'm not sure I've actually seen people do in comp is send one member up to the hill to play this other dip, which
Smart.
you can kind of slide up the hill here, as you see Warhawk doing. He can fully drop into this dip or kind of work his way north up that hill to provide cover over the top of his teammates. So a very good spot. You love to see these kind of splits and what these top teams kind of can do with these different positions.
For sure, and I don't know if you mentioned, but also Insane 187 had a view on Q. It was a little obstructed when they went in the dip, but they actually had a kind of a side sight line. So if K7 moves too far to the east here, they can get spotted by School.
Here
We're
we
just
go.
about to see circle shift, very dramatic
Oh
circle
my
shift Stento
gosh.
north, and you always love to bring this up, so I know you will, but the river
do
here
it, let me
cutting
do it.
this zone in half, and I just am very surprised to see that kind of circle shift here, considering how that first circle.
Yeah, for it to bring that water back into play, I know everyone knows how much I love talking about it. But this water, this river that jets out all the way from George Pool, is a body of water that Phase 4 will shift away from. So the fact that Phase 2 has halved the zone with it perfectly, and we have nobody on the north side.
not
Blitz.
one team was
Nobody's
over
over there. I think the prison inmates are gonna take the Yasnaya
like
Bridge
that
and head
move.
over there. And K7 getting in a really good spot early on.
Yeah,
So they're gonna
K7 just
love that
stole
spot
an
there to
amazing
be able to
spot there.
frag out. We're gonna watch them pick up several kills. BM Blood Money also in a very good spot in mini Roshawk. So several teams are poised to pick up big kills here, given the rotations other teams will have to make. But it's
Like
just
what CK is doing here, Stento. CK is going for the Yasnaya wrap here around the end of the road compound, if we go that dead end compound, and RR's actually coming behind them, but they might stay in Yas. TSN is taking the first airlift of today, I think, over. It shows them in a vehicle, but they are in the plane again, so they're going to be the first team dropping out.
there you go. They're going to be able to drop into a really good spot on this hill and kind of scope out what's going on here. Our winners from match 1, if you're just tuning in, 20 Squad North here, picked up the chicken dinner with 6 kills. It was a little bit of a modest round. They were in great position. They kept 4 up all game, and kind of just closed out the lobby with those 6 kills. Really was never in question towards the end of the match that these guys were going to take it down. And now once again, Blitz, they're in a really good spot. I think I've just got a hunch that with that northern shift from Phase 1 to Phase 2 that we're going to be heading to the north side of this water, but we'll have to wait and see. It looks like AFI. Oh my gosh, I didn't get over here quick enough, but that's the second round in a row that we're going to catch SOB just with an unfortunate rotation. You do not want to be pushing past this AFI squad.
Stento, oh my god, I was tapped in on that. I didn't want to interrupt you, and I didn't know if they were gonna have a sight line, and Baby Joey just started that off, I think, with a double kill out of the car, completely squad wiped out of the US there. That was a nasty job. Honestly, I forget what team just got eliminated there. They did a poor job. They crashed into a tree. They were making a lot of noise on this side of the circle. It was not an efficient rotation.
Unfortunate.
Efficient.
SOB was the squad. They're going to need to clean it up because I believe round 1 they crashed into a rock. So they're going to need to hand the driver's license over to a different team member, I think,
Yeah,
and
good
regroup
memory,
for
right?
our match 3 Miramar here.
Yeah, good memory. They were the team that crashed into the rock there outside of Mansion, and there they hit a tree, so that was just not great. Now we got some battle between CK, and they just caught Torch Fizz out, who Torch was playing pretty well there on that last match, getting the
Fizz is a big
gatekeep.
player for them too.
I like this Torch. Torch has also been rostering some different players lately. It seemed like they had a shakeup because they had some long-standing members there for a while. OH has kind of always been on the Torch squad, but Tix there, Fizz. I don't recognize all these guys being on the same team tonight, so definitely curious to see how Torch looks moving forward as well.
Yeah, I think Fizz is a member. Torch has an EU squad, and I think we've seen them join Fizz and Ghost. We've seen them do some very disturbing things, those two guys representing Torch before. So I'm familiar with Fizz. I know Tick. I've seen him around for a while. I don't know Kayomi, but OH, I believe, is kind of the owner of Torch. So they've been around for a while. And I think, as you said, a little bit of just a roster mania here for console PUBG, as a lot of the top players are kind of shifting around, finding new homes.
Stento RR is going over the Yas bridge here, and ZG is going to be right behind them. Looks like RR is actually going to pause on their.
Wow, this was a heavy shift upwards. I just noticed that phase 3 pulled heavy to the north side, so leaving no question that everyone needs to get over that river in the south side of zone now. K7 kind of hanging out on the north side of Rozhok, maybe looking for kills, probably going to take the late rotation over, but they're going to bump into 20 squad north eventually. Our winners from round 1 are taking a pretty dominant spread in the center of zone. I'm still on to the console killers here, hanging out near gas station. They're a little bit spread here, and they got to look out because the prison inmates starting to put some shots down onto Jaeger. They've already picked up 2 kills right now.
Is this phase 9? They're coming in on a plane right now.
I saw them storming through my map. I was like trying to figure out what was going on.
Exactly. It's kind of odd just seeing them fly across. Shots are already flying at them, and they just hop off. You usually don't see it that early. Not too much is available. There's that little compound, or they
dropping
might
right
take
on
the
Torch.
shed where Torch is at.
They're
Are they
dropping
going to do a
right.
2-2 split here?
I don't know. They're dropping right on the Torch.
Tick just spotted them. I think they're going to regroup back to that single compound center. The bad thing about this play, though, is they don't have a vehicle. That's why I'm kind of a fan of one teammate staying with the vehicle and driving and saying, hey, you know, I'll go scout out the compound or drive by just to have the car, right? Because leaving this compound without a car, Stento, is really, really, really rough.
Yeah, one of the members of that team that just parachuted, picking up a nice knock onto Zalodi. I don't think he's going to be able to pick it up. He just went right back inside after dropping
this is
him.
Main Gaming, Stern. Sorry to interrupt you. They just doing the same thing, jumping in the same spot,
Oh
getting shot from multiple directions. It's hilarious. It looks like out of a movie because you can see all the tracer rounds just flying up in the air.
They're dropping onto that solo house. Ernster is landing directly on people right now. I don't know if they have any idea he's there.
It's a whole squad. Ernster down first with the M4. Gets Torch down.
Oh, Swag drops another one, but the trains are coming out here, Blitz. They have to get down. They didn't get down.
Where's the rest of MG? Bad Apple coming in a little slow, Stento. This is going to hurt them. It allows Swag and Ernster to get flushed out.
Oh, Bad Apple drops them. It's one member inside.
You got a gas can. They're going to get, or was a molly?
I think he mollied himself.
He might have mollied himself.
Wow, he has himself. That was insane. Ladies and gentlemen, you are seeing what is brand new to PUBG esports. We have now gotten the addition of the emergency airlifts. Not only did we see phase 9 drop onto this compound, Main Gaming dropping directly on top of them with 3 of their members, Bad Apple doing what he needed to do to come in and clean up the final 2 members, as the third-party shots from both Torch and I believe AFI up the hill were just a little bit too much for the people that were outside of this solo building to handle. But some good plays from Ernster, some good plays from some members of P9 there to pick up some trades, but Bad Apple came in and cleaned it up. I think there was a little bit of a molly situation. I don't know if Bad Apple shot the molly out of the air or whatnot, but we're seeing some big kills on the edge of zone here. I think it's K7 bumping heads with the dub hub, and they cleaned it up quick. I didn't get over in time. I think they're going to keep 4 up here, Blitz, and unfortunately for the dub hub, trying to make a late rotation on the edge here, bump into Kinetic 7, who pick up 4 kills.
Yeah, dub hub just probably unlucky enough to not find a emergency pickup. I'm trying to rotate in late, and K7 just had the great spot here.
That is unbelievable stuff. We're seeing a big fight break out again here. Blitz AFI versus VK. It looks like they're hesitant to push. They've gotten a knock onto VK, who's all restricted into a very tight area as a group. They don't have very many angles. Oh, but here you go. Zalodi and AFI considering taking a lift into zone. They might be baiting it, as I think the nades were just dropping all over. Yeah, they decided to maybe use that as a little bit of bait. Another tactic you might see from teams is on edge, you can use that to maybe bait someone out to try to throw a nade, to try to get sightlines onto where that lift would be going and relocate yourself at a different angle to try to maybe pick up some kills. So I love seeing that from AFI. I think a little bit of a bait airdrop was placed down there, and I think it paid off. I think they got a knock out of it, but deciding not to push up the hill, showing a little bit of respect to the Virtual Kings.
Yeah, for sure. And Virtual Kings kind of making a smart play there. It's a much safer rotation on the north. I was kind of watching K7 here. They were getting tagged a lot trying to get across the bridge. And actually, Crazy Mob is right below Blood Money, and they're going to be getting eliminated here right in the outside of zone. Dreams is stuck in the blue.
Yeah, Blood Money's got a pretty solid grip on this side of zone, but the 187Zs, led by Sizzle and Legend here, are kind of trying to find their way into the area. It's the ace in the hand of Legend here, not going to connect. The 2X not doing him any favors on the ace there, so they're going to kind of rotate around. That house is going to be valuable real estate here, Blitz. Legend spotting another member for Blood Money, but I think that the rest of 187Zs need to get to this house. Sizzle does just that, and they pick up the hard cover. However, the shots from Silak put Legend down quick with that SKS. Now Savage is down to one shot.
Needs to get this first aid off. Who's hitting good shots, so they need Savage to get back up here with this barrel 6 times and lay down some fire. But now the smokes are out. K7 coming in from the rear as well.
Yeah, this is a messy area. Blitz. K7 has now put Blood Money in a bad pinch, and with the 187Zs continuing to apply pressure on this side, it's going to need to be big shots out of Lyrical, and it is. Trades come out from both, big knocks from Silic and Lyrical, taking down 2 members of the 187Z. Insane needs to get in there quick. Silak is at this house. Insane is there, but the barrel is no match for the M4 there. Silak is going crazy here.
Super strong plays from Zilak. Lyrical trying to do his best, but long range shots with the red dot on the barrel against K7. Smoke is dissipating, so not going to give him too much cover. Fresh smoke actually just dropped, though.
This is insane plays from Blood Money, holding strong there. K7 just sitting up on the hill, picking at what they can. They've got ARs and DMRs on the situation. They know that Lyrical's in that smoke. They're beginning to spam it out. They want these kills, Blitz.
Finally gets the knock to the smoke. He'd already ripped a few first aids just on the edge of zone here. Finally going to go down. Meanwhile, zone continues to move to the east. VK and AFI now finally fighting as a squad here just north of all this action. Warhawk also getting in some third-party shots with a DMR as well.
Yeah, big fight breaking out here. There's a knock on each side, AFI and VK. The other 3 trying to figure out how to fight, how to get the revives up. Omerta's going for the revive on Mick. Linkadox, however, ticking down. I think it's his second knock. Can Sweezy get there? He's gonna need to get that on quickly. He does get that revive up. Both teams likely gonna get back to 4 strong here. The third parties from really far to the north side are starting to play a factor, and they actually re-knock one of the members for VK there, and Sweezy goes down as well.
Ooh,
so
Tourney
all
goes
hell is
down
breaking
as well.
loose here.
Quavoff trying to make a last-ditch effort goes down. AFI
holds strong there versus VK. Yeah, a little bit of the third party from the north blitz kind of undid half of VK there, but some good shots from AFI.
TSN now doing exactly what they did in game 1. They played it safe, then they popped out 4 strong, ended up taking the dub kind of the same time frame when there was like about 6 or 7 up. And here doing the same exact thing. Sai getting a nasty mini shot on Jaeger out of the car there. Was that MIK, excuse me.
They might be able to get that revive off. Omerta is there. However,
Omerta is there right on the edge of blue.
Re-knock.
This is where the mini is just so great. This distance, great bolt velocity. Just as the care package for cover. Zone actually just gave TSN some love there. And now K7's going to go for this push on the last member of Blood Money Stento. Xylac, I think is what we're calling him. Dex able to take him out quickly there. But actually, he'd taken down Q, so...
Massive shout out to Xylac there. He came in and I believe knocked 2 members of 187Zs to take that compound, and then again clearly standing strong, taking a 1v3, knocking Q there. So massive shout out to one of the members of Blood Money, Xylac there. It's time for TSN to push up. They've spotted K7 down low, and KYU with a big knock.
This is a great time to push here, KOU, with another big knock. QDex and Aimbot both going down, making the barrel 3 times, looking easy there. Good shots, but also Aimbot, I think, jumped there, and a lot of us do that as PUBG players, but sometimes when you jump, it ends up just making it easier to be shot at, right? Because your movement slows down a lot more. And Caillou with a nice stun here. Wow. Oh, it was actually a nade goes off. I thought it was a stun, but it was a perfect nade there, trying to run into the building, catching elbow.
Unbelievable plays here. Unbelievable plays from... Go ahead, Blitz.
Oh, it's TSN just making you right. Really smart plays. They're playing. They really turned up the intensity. They went from 0 to literally 100 right at the right time.
I was about to call out how amazing of a push that was from CK to get this house, but it was just such a timely nade from Caillou, I believe. I believe Rec also had a little bit of an angle. So unfortunately, the two can't hold strong as this 4-man for TSN pushes aggressively back to this compound. Somehow, in the meantime, K7 has gotten both of the revives off onto those knocks, and they're going to be back to 3 strong. I didn't even notice, Blitz.
No, I didn't notice that either. I saw the knocks coming down the kill feed, and I had accidentally called one incorrectly there. But they're back up now, and then trying to understand what's... Is AFI Muerta the last one up? He is. He was hiding at the care package last time we saw him. Playing a spoiler here for PI.
He's got 4 kills to his name, 11 for the squad. It just got over to this. And I think the last member of PI just went down to long range. We're down to our final 4 teams now.
Okay, K7's pushing TSN. They have one of the members down. It's Caillou, and they're actually not going for the revive right now. They're trying to fight 3v3 strong because they recognize this is such an important fight. They don't want to have any members down. Rex got a big battle to fight, and he actually goes down to Q. Trade comes in. QDex and Q are both down. It's just Aimbot left.
Aimbot needs to make some plays here. His team needs him. He does just that. Gets around the corner, drops side. He's got one more player he needs to take down, and it's going to be big. I'm not sure all of his teammates are thirsted. He's not going to be able to get anyone up. He hasn't located the final member here. He's got the barrel in his hands. Straight head. He's onto side. The mollies are already coming out from the third party. It's CK. Bazaar leading the way with the fire. He's going to take down Aimbot. I actually think Aimbot was able to molly himself before he bled out.
What the?
So I think he denied that kill there.
Insane. And just like that,
Was that his own molly?
in
Or was
pure
that the
chaos. I don't know if that was a glitch or if he mauled himself because I wasn't on his perspective, but out of nowhere, Stento, 25 minutes into the match, 26 minutes into the match, we're down to just 3 players, and you would have never guessed that Muerta is the last one surviving here out of all this chaos. I can't believe that happened. I mean, first of all, K7 catching, I think Syme there on the revive, couldn't get off it fast enough, cost them that fight there. They were trying to hold on the revive, but then eventually went for it, got them down to this position. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, there was like just a little bit too much going on there. As you just said, we're only in phase 7 and we have 3 players left. So battles were breaking out on all sides of the map, and Omerta was in a 3v1 on the north side as I was trying to watch Kinetic 7 push 20 squad north. So we missed Omerta almost 3v1 this squad. He got a little bit of help from long range. And now he's got the Groza in his hand. I'm watching Omerta's perspective here. Again, 4 kills for himself, 11 for the squad. He's going to need to bring a little bit of something spectacular here, Blitz. He's going to need to get a quick knock onto Bazaar over the top here and then figure out where that second member is.
Hey, but Jaeger's not there to back him up. They're not really rolling together, Stento. He could easily pop up here. Risky stun, because if this doesn't hit, it's going to show this for his position, and now Bazaar's got the tree, Stento, so that's going to end up costing him. But Jaeger's, again, not there. He's got a couple grenades here. He's got 2 nades, so first nade's coming out.
Good stunts here from Bazaar. Kind of got Omerta off guard here. The Groza not going to connect. Bazaar, a little bit of fancy footwork there. Regains his ADS and drops straight headshots onto Omerta. So, as you said, a little bit of an unfortunate timing with that stun. Gave his location as Bazaar kind of found a little bit of a tree there. And they had the overwatch with the AWM. But console killers, 6 kills, and the chicken dinner. AFI, as we just mentioned, they had 11 kills, I believe, and the second place. And rounding out our top 3 in match 2 of the evening was K7. Another big kill game for them. They're not going to be happy with the chicken dinner, but they did get plenty of kills. It looks like 15
kills for them. Wow. That kind of did not see that they had that many kills at that point. And then TSN here in 4th place, they're picking up 7 kills again, which is awesome. And PI making it into the 5th place with just a few kills there. But great top 5 there. Another great game. GG's to all the teams out there. Well done to CK.
Yeah, absolutely. GG's to everybody. And we will be right back in just a few moments with our 3rd match of the evening, our Shake 'em Up map. We're heading over into the dusty deserts of Miramar, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to start our third match of the evening on Miramar. But before we do that, I want to remind everybody to pay extra attention tonight. At the end of match 5, we're going to put up a poll in the chat, and we're going to ask everyone to vote on an MVP. The MVP of tonight's event will be winning Astro A03 earbuds, excuse me. So please make sure you're hanging out until the end of the event tonight, and get those votes in when that poll goes up after match 5. Again, the winner of this MVP tonight will take home Astro A3 earbuds. But Blitz, we're about to drop into Miramar. What's on your mind?
Well, I think on both of our minds is we got the emergency pickups, and if any crazy spots people will get into here, especially some of the unplayable spots, which people will be able to. I think the big thing is that, again, too, because you can get to a crazy spot on Miramar, but then you can't get off without normally killing yourself or dying to the zone. So if you have 2, you can now get to that spot and then get out of that spot. So that's kind of the big part here. Previously, you know, people would land up there with maybe gliders and then be able to fly away. There were the parachutes that you could get on top of some of the buildings like in El Pozo or some of the big cities like Los Leones, but those are removed now, I think, because now everyone just has them on their character. So that's what I think we're definitely going to be looking out for. And then we have the start of our plane path here on Miramar. This is, again, game 3. The Miramar we always look forward to. That kind of throws a little wrench in the whole thing. Then we're back to 2 more Erangels, and this is going from El Azarhar all the way to Monte Nuevo. So there's going to be some hot drop potential here between Hacienda, San Martin, Power Grid, Hot Corner, Minas area, and even with Monte, we're definitely going to be seeing some teams go there. El Pozo. What about you, Stento? What are you thinking for this match?
Well, that plane path is very interesting. Basically straight across the center of the map. So I think it's going to affect some of those northern or southern drops, but a lot of people aren't going to be able to extend to where they want. So we're going to have a crowded center of the map here, Blitz, I'm pretty sure. And that first circle pop is going to be a lot of people's friends and probably, a few people's friends and probably a lot of people's biggest enemy here, because these rotations on Miramar are so difficult. We've already seen a couple teams struggle with rotations in our first couple games today. And Miramar is not easier to rotate on. Usually you have to drive a longer distance over tougher terrain and in the wide open. So we're going to see where that first circle goes. It has full range across the map from east to west side, but it can't go too far north or south. So a lot of these teams are going to get dragged from one side to the other. I think a lot of them are hoping it kind of is just something neutral in the center so that they can work off of that. Taking a close look to see if we have any hot drops, Blitz. I think we're seeing some people shoot at parachuters, but first circle centers up on Picado towards the southern side. Leones is in, as well as Chumacera, AFI, and VK. Really in the most and ZG up there are really those top 3 teams. Some of our veteran squads really in the best position early here.
Sure. I want to point out 3 different things here. First, not many people landed late. Second, K7 Qdex is split from the squad. I thought maybe he'd be stuck in between main gaming, but he immediately got in a vehicle. It looks like he's actually going to scope out somewhere center zone, which is a really smart move for K7 here. K7 kind of went with an old GT drop here. Outside of Los Leones to the right. I don't know if they wanted to originally go where main gaming went, but I think they got kind of taken out from that spot. And then the only contested drop I'm seeing, which is interesting, Stento, for people listening, because we haven't seen really any contested drops today, is at El Azarhar between 187Z and the prison inmate squad, which again are new, at least for me, into the weekly series right now. So I'm still not super familiar with them.
Yeah, we'll have to keep a close eye on this battle that you just brought up, because I'm not familiar with them either. I think we've seen them in a couple main gaming weeklies now, but the prison inmates seem pretty tightly packed here. They're on the north side of El Ahazar. The 187Zs we've seen have some success in recent main gaming weekly events. We definitely saw them take home a chicken dinner, and they're one of like 8 to 10 teams that were in consideration for first place going down into match 5 last night. So, last week. But looks like they've just got 3 here, Blitz. Are you seeing the final member of the 187Zs?
The last member is actually outside the city to the east there, kind of up the hill.
Oh,
Actually
it's
gonna have a
Insane as
sideline
well.
potentially looking down, but I don't know what Insane has there. If they have any scopes or anything. Looks like they have a mini, just can't see what scope they have on it. 4 times, and actually the inmates are already leaving. And something I love to see here is that Omerta actually just took the church. I'm kind of talking back to the zone here, so sorry, off topic, but just interesting because AFI, veteran team, K7, great team, like they're getting the position so early on. This kind of zone cento, I think Miramar sort of is a map where you want to have the good zone early, and VK also doing the same thing. They're already leaving Picado. They could stay in there for a while and loot, but they're heading out to look for some better real estate. And yeah, a lot of these compounds are very, very strong if you can get it locked in early.
Yeah, we mentioned a bit earlier as the plane path was heading overhead, but rotating on this map is just so difficult. So you're seeing a lot of our veteran teams. I think before even looting, we were seeing K7 and a couple other teams head into a better location, sending one player into a better location to get a foothold in the zone here. It's so important to be able to have a location somewhat in the center zone for the first couple zones so that you aren't rotating for phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, because oftentimes you have to pull out and rotate for the later zone. So if you're kind of rotating for every single zone, you're really increasing those percentages that you get taken out early or mid game. So you're seeing these top teams, these veteran teams, reduce those chances and really get into zone early on.
Absolutely. Main Gaming just pulled up behind K7. As they pulled up, Q and Aimbot were actually leaving. I thought they were going to hear Main Gaming pull up. They didn't. They stopped pretty early on. Now they're going on foot. So this is a really aggressive play from Main Gaming, something that we saw them do last week, when previously I always thought that Main Gaming kind of was a team that played on the outer zone. It seemed like they kind of changed their play style and are going a little bit more aggressive nowadays.
They need to be careful
they're
here.
pushing here. Risky push, but this is 4v2 Stento. If they played this right, Swag's kind of got a good distraction. Apple's already here. Foul with a big headshot onto Warhawk.
Foul with a massive headshot. It's just QDex inside, and Bad Apple handles it. So this is tragedy for K7, who, again, we were talking, they get a very good foothold early on in the zone. QDex and Aimbot and Warhawk pulled up here early on. I don't think they had any idea Main Gaming was coming until QDex peeked out that second floor. But unfortunately for K7, a really nice bolty shot from Thalizide really opens the door there for Main Gaming, Blitz.
Yeah, that was huge. And at the end of the day, this compound to me is kind of a little bit of a facade, because it's great that you're on top of this hill, but there's so many ways to sneak up on this compound from the Picado side, from the side Main Gaming pulled up on. It's just hard to have visuals everywhere here, and not really a compound that you want to split, I feel like, a lot of the times. And Main Gaming, again, showing that they can make these big moves if they play aggressive and stick together, even with this different squad, so you love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of thought they were going to be in trouble if they didn't get a knock or get that done with quick, because K7 does a great job of regrouping and bringing extra angles. But a great knock again from Thalizide really opened the door there.
Outside of Picado, BM, Blood Money might get in a fight early with TSN. TSN has been avoiding fights for 2 games in a row for game 1 winner. But Xylak, I don't think they know TSN's
They have
here. They're
no
going right over
idea.
the hill. This is insane.
The trap was set. The bait was taken. They had no idea that was there. The rest of Blood Money's on the other side.
And Torch is actually behind Blood Money, so they are completely screwed here. TSN just playing next level trap there. Company's actually got a good rotation. If they get some nades in this pit, it could help out. But Sai making some big plays.
Yeah,
and the third party coming from Torch.
We're seeing some great location taken early on from this TSN team for the 3rd team in a row, and laid a little bit of a trap there. I don't know if they were aware of the first 2 members, Blitz, that were hanging out on the ridge, but they let that car drive all the way into the ditch, and then they were waiting for them as a 4-man. So you love to see the trigger discipline out of some of these squads. It really does pay off. It's going to give them 2 kills here as they try to find the final members here, but Torch is just along the ridge, wasting no time at all. Is this Torch squad led by Kayomi and Tick on the ridge here? They've got Fizz anchoring on the backside with that SLR. And OH is now grouped up with the rest of the squad on the front side here. So they know TSN is hanging out in this dip. They know BM might have a straggler nearby, but they're still playing aggressive here. So you love to see this push from Torch trying to pick up early game kills here.
Yeah, look at this. Hit is actually coming, trying to get behind TSN or maybe head to the compound. I wonder if TSN even wants this fight because you know they want to play for the dub. That's just their play style, it seems like tonight. Look at that Eno taking out PI while we're spectating here. Kayomi is actually making a rotation. Fizz is so far back, Stento, that with TSN playing really strong in this valley, Fizz can't really do anything from that distance. So Fizz is actually trying to make his way over. Torch grouped up here, which is actually kind of smart.
Kayomi that
gets
flank.
the knock on Ayu. It's actually a good play here to all stick together while TSN is in this dip.
OH is checking
Watch him
all
take
sides
here.
here. He's got the M249, and he's gonna get PYM here. So what was a great play in a good spot for TSM, it doesn't hold for long if you just kind of sit in this dip here. People can get angles. They can
Ooh, Tick has
flank
a
you
good
as
rotation.
Kayomi and Await showed here. It's just Psy there and Rek doing all they can here. One trade goes out, so Rek, a little bit of a
But
spark
Rek
for his
got
squad. It's
up.
just Psy
Yeah,
now,
Tick
but
that was a huge knock on the Tick there. Get a great angle. Fizz now goes down.
Wow.
OH and Kayomi need to make a play here.
wow.
It is now showing back up as well.
I can't believe I didn't know Caillou got rezzed there. So Kayomi needs to do something quick here. I did not see Caillou over here holding strong. And now it's just Psy and Kayomi because Hida has rejoined the party. As you said, a knock and a thirst onto OH leaves just...
It's just Psy up, and actually CK stole a kill on the OH from across the way there.
Hida's cleaning it all up.
Hida getting revenge for his blood money squad.
This is unbelievable, Blitz. He's got two members to deal with. One's full health, one just got revived. But these plays are just insane. Hida turning what was a lost round for blood money into some points here. He's already got 3. He could turn it into 5 if he keeps it going.
Wow, no throwables for Hida though, so couldn't get a nade there. Now he's gonna have a 2v1 situation. Not gonna be easy here.
He gets one.
And
What did you
down.
do?
Psy's super low health. He can push this. He knows he's got some blood, and he gets the double kill in revenge for blood money.
Hida for blood money. He laid low for a little bit and waited for the right time to strike, and he picks up 5 kills for this squad who has had a little bit of a slow start, but that might just kick them into gear. If you're new to the Main Gaming Weekly Series, welcome. We have $1,000 on the line tonight, and our top 4 places are going to be taking home that prize money. In blood money, Hida doing all he can to drag his team into that conversation, Blitz.
Wow, and as we say this, I just see SOB rolling their car over, getting taken out on another bad rotation there. Driving, you can't drive by church.
Who taught these guys how to drive?
You can't drive by church at this point in the game. You just can't. You know, it's so risky to drive through church
Who taught these
there.
guys how to drive, man? I want to see them
might
fight.
do the same thing. I think Eno's going to try to drive by church as well. This is just such a risky drive by. With you know what team's going to be holding church. AFI's there.
Oh my
The
God,
shots
Mick,
coming down,
quick drop
Remain
with the
coming
headshots.
out.
This
They're
is
actually
not.
going to survive here, 3 into the compound, but it just
Oh my
usually
God,
does
a
not even
full
go
air
that
was
well.
Either desk popped off or wasted on purpose there. We can only speculate, but the nades now aimed up at the roof. And Omerta, baby Joey is going to rejoin here, and they're probably going to call Zalodi over as well. AFI usually moves quickly with their comms and their actions here, but they've got a 3-man Eno here hanging on to these smaller buildings. So a very interesting early game fight here, Blitz.
It's not easy to push these smaller buildings. There's a lot of nooks and crannies here, and it's like they have the good spot on top of the roof.
Mick, however, was
Zalodi's
able
coming
to
over.
drop. Let's see
I
where
don't know how
Zalody
they
pulls
got.
up.
I don't know
Mick-
how they got verbal there. I guess he just
Mick
was
did.
peeking.
I didn't see the peak or anything, but it was Mick with the AUG. Zalodi's gonna follow him in there. Max is doing all he can to hold the push. Well-timed
Got up,
push
but then
in
they
here.
get the double knock trade. Mick goes down. Actually, Max takes out Mick and Baby Joey. So now
Wow.
Murtha's got to hop down off the roof.
If he can get this first aid off here, he could potentially pull off a 4v1 after losing the rest of his squad. He's got a 2x on the AUG. The push is aggressive here from Zalodi and the rest of the squad. A little bit of dipsy, dude. There, fancy work from Zalodi there with the crouch button, making it look easy. clutching up for his squad there. That's 5 kills for AFI, but an impressive stand there for Max from that Eno squad after they did lose one of their teammates on the pull-up. I'm going to take a quick look around. You think that the third parties would be coming, but these guys are all alone up on that hill here. Tons of teams rotating from the north side in blue into zone right now. Blitz, ZG, the Dub Hub, and the Crazy Mob all out of zone, kind of shooting at each other and trying to find their way into zone.
Dub Up and Crazy Mob are fighting at the gas station. Sorry, we haven't really had a minute to recalibrate here because there's been nonstop fighting for the past 5-10 minutes here. This has been insane. Onyx is down here from the Dub Hub. Rappa's going to get the flush here. And it looks like Crazy Mob is 4 up, but they're just kind of split 2 at the gas station. There's actually still a member coming down from the mountain there, so they just must be struggling for vehicles right now. Pole is stuck at a shed here without a vehicle, it looks like, as well. And Laser's just running into the zone. So these two teams really struggling, unfortunately.
Yeah, some mutual destruction going on here in the blue. And you have to wonder, I think Laser might just be waiting here, trying to pick up a kill or two, because I don't see a car nearby. Seeing what he can do with the Crazy Mob, trying to regroup in their own car, but it's time to go. They got 2 minutes before phase 3 touches up to phase 4. Laser's on foot, it looks like. VK rotating just on the edge of zone near Laser as well, but
we haven't really addressed the zone. So
yeah,
so the intersection at church was roughly center earlier before, so the circles kind of just continue to center up on itself and go kind of further south actually. So we're gonna see, yeah, it actually did go pretty decent south because we're under Chu now. So most teams were having to move into this area. Only a few teams were actually in this spot when the zone shifted, excuse me. 187Z is one of the best spots here in this area, actually. This is a great compound to lock down here. So they're in a good spot. VK also has a great spot because they're the sole team on the west side here.
Yeah, we just
haven't seen too much emergency pickup action yet, Stento.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking that myself. I was trying to take a look at the map and keep an eye on it to see if I see anyone zipping into zone, but I haven't been able to catch it, so I'm not sure if anyone's taken one this round yet or not. But we're approaching the 16-minute mark, Blitz. Just 10 teams alive and 33 players, so a lot of destruction early on here.
Yeah, that was a lot more action than we had been seeing on the previous Erangel matches, and actually ZG just got into zone here, cross from main gaming.
Yeah, I
have a couple vehicles.
I didn't see what happened to Ernster and Foul, but Swag and Bad Apple had some skirmishes early on here, and they're doing all they can to kind of hold out a rotating ZG. Zodiac Gaming led by Paulo Sam and Edu Luxo here. Gonna rotate just below the ridge. I think they're gonna take that low side. They're in zone there. I'd rather be where ZG is.
This is actually a classic chess play on this exact spot in Miramar. So a lot of teams like in gaming go here thinking they can hold this team out, but it's often pretty easy for a team like Zodiac Gaming to actually kind of wrap behind them, and then they can go on foot and hold this little ridge that's right next to where Swag is. And it's really hard for Swag to cover because there's not a window facing that hill, right? So that you rely on Bad Apple, who has to blindly peek through the window or the door with the members of GG staring right at them. So ZG now just took the power spot. Paul Sam playing very aggressive, getting close to the compound.
The third party is helping MG a little bit, but there's just too much going on. Bad Apple does drop one, but Paulo Sam in there takes care of Swag. Thirst comes out immediately. Bad Apple's going to need to do a little bit more. He does get his thirst. He gets another one as well. Mark is down.
Very nice. Bad Apple getting the reload off, kind of waiting. He knows that there's some third-party shots coming in as well, so playing patient. Stun just came in. Aimbot's trying to make a move behind them as well. Apple can't really get out. Nade came in. Does he have any throwables himself to throw? He's got 3 nades sent. Do you think now would be the time to start hitting these nades? And here they are. They're going to come. First one underhand to block anyone pushing in. The next one I imagine is going to be overhand, trying to go for a knock or maybe a confirm on that kill.
Yeah, the third parties are beginning to play a pretty serious factor here, Blitz. Gonna try and
nade into the window, Stento. It missed though.
Missed the window.
That could have been a huge nade.
That one
third one goes in.
The third parties are big thing. Oh my gosh! It's a 3-piece Blitz. The Bad Apple chucking apples in every single direction.
Stento, that's the full squad wipe. Bad Apple with 5 total kills. And oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. Main Gaming, Zodiac Gaming had the advantage. They're pushing into the compound. 4 strong V2. I mean, I know there were some third-party shots coming in, but Bad Apple absolutely clutched up there.
That was foul by that man. The third parties were really affecting the push by Zodiac Gaming, putting several players weak. I don't know if any knocks happened, but Bad Apple with just a good peek from his little shack there and use the third party to his advantage, and then the nade to handle it. It's Albo versus Aimbot here. Albo gets the advantage, the knock onto Aimbot. Again, the third parties are such a factor here. Blitz RR and several other squads are looking from the high side down and just really being a pain in the back of several of these teams here fighting in the ditch.
Yeah, this again is a spot that can be good in the next zone or two, but this zone's just too early here in RR and the third party coming in. AFI still at the church, Stento. They've been there since the beginning of this match now, pretty much.
Yeah, this is kind of ridiculous. AFI's been there in a very good spot. Same with 187Zs. They've been here. I didn't see when they lost Sizzle, but they've been in this apartment complex. And this is kind of the bittersweet spot about being in a spot like this, so centered up where no one can really get anywhere near you. You know, you're in the best spot in the game for a while, but you don't get any kills. And meanwhile, you're seeing other teams pick up some pretty heavy frag points. So unfortunately for the 187Zs, maybe got to the best spot in the game, but they're not really getting rewarded for that.
No, for sure. And I think we're going to see this zone here. CK is basically where the zone is going to end. But again, we mentioned, are they there a little too early? Can they survive this? Sometimes the zone stays where CK is. Oftentimes, it actually will go to the street here. I've seen that zone a few times. But I think the zone's going to kind of center up on itself from here. We'll see. You know, obviously zones on exactly the same, but for all of my competitive players out there, you've definitely seen the circle a time or two playing on Miramar here when the zone does go this way. There's just a lot of circles that kind of repeat themselves in the general area, and this is definitely one of them.
I've tapped
VK's
into
not going to take a stab.
Yeah, I'm watching the Virtual Kings. I think they're going to try to pull up on the 187Zs here. They've got 2 cars, both with 2 people in them, and they're going to be able to get to this underneath side. It's going to need to be some good nades from the 187Zs to hold these guys off. We'll have to see.
Sweezy got hit
Go ahead,
with
Blitz.
a little flak from a nade, and he's got an ace here, so I'm tapped into him. I want to see if he can make any moves with this ace, but he actually just got hit by another nade down to under 50 health there.
Tony, what are you doing? Tony is covering from long range while he's in a close range fight. The plays are just incredible from some of these players. I wish you were watching that, Blitz. Tony was kind of watching nades land all around, and then he looked up the hill and just like 2 or 3 tapped someone way up the hill to the southeast side who was like about to look at some of his teammates. Yeah, that was incredible. VK is just wrapping this wall. I love the push. Meanwhile, off the screen, I'm going to tap up to church. We're seeing a big skirmish breakout up there. Several knocks on each side here. It looks like AFI in a little bit more control of the situation. They're going to be able to get to 4 strong here. And the final member for Crazy Mob is back at that school situation. So he's going to be looking over this way with a bolty. But how much can he really do with just the barrel and the bolty over there? So it might be time to get back over towards this apartment complex. VK has fully infiltrated. They're 4 deep in one of these apartments. 187Z still got 3 members, and they're hanging on as well. So lots going on here very quickly, Blitz. We're down to just 5 teams and 19 players as we pass the 22-minute mark.
It looks like Drop Up mollied himself there, taking him out, knowing that AFI was going to kind of 4v1 him there. And we are down to our final 5 teams. While we were talking, Apple got eliminated. Dude, I think Stento, 2 members of RR might have taken a late pickup. I'm trying to check where they are. Or did they take a vehicle? Oh, no, sorry. They took a vehicle. I thought they took a late pickup. They were flying across my screen, but they were just on a buggy there.
Trades going out here. Blitz in the apartments. 1 knock onto VK, and VK trades it right back. That's a Linkadux. Now Quavoff outside of that apartment, trying to kind of diversify his team's location here, get some angles. He just has to consider that high side down from, up at church. AFI is looking down this way. And this compound just circled very center here. So these guys are in a very good spot for another zone or 2.
For sure. I can't imagine this compound staying in the zone. So I think it's going to be pretty tough. Like one of these teams is most likely going to have to leave, or they might get third party leaving together here. We'll see. Obviously, VK does some amazing things getting out of situations like this. You could easily see them go for a push here after that knock potentially.
Yeah, what's
Quavoff
interesting
looks
is
like
that
he's thinking about it right now.
yeah, I don't
Quavoff-
know if they realize that Insane is still knocked. So they have 2 knocks. One is almost bled out. The revive comes onto Savage here. So they really need to consider if they can get over to Insane. Quavoff is trying to get the rest of the squad to push from the other side. You can kind of see the comms from above. Stuns are coming out. Linkadox has got to be blind here. They're trying to push into Insane's building. I think Tony's going to jump into the first floor here. So going to be a
not
yeah.
easy building to play in FPP, right, Sento? This is a little bit easier in TPP, but in FPP, this is a dangerous building to run into. That's why you see 3 people going in there together.
Yeah, they don't exactly understand what they're dealing with, and now they see that Insane bled out. They run in there, they're going to check this body out. Elsewhere, we see a combination of CK and AFI.
And RR just got eliminated.
Yeah, we got to get into
Heading
Baby
into our
Joey's
top
perspective here, man. They've already got 10 kills, Blitz. Baby Joey's got 5, and they're pushing on to CK right now.
Yeah, VK just got elbow as he tried to make it down to the rock. I don't know where the other member of CK is. The 2 members are kind of up the, or they're in the ditch, excuse me.
So I'm watching Baby Joey. He's being very careful here. He knows CK is down below. They want to pick up these kills, but they know that VK is
Gets
watching
tagged
here.
from
And
Tourney.
unfortunately, Tourney, 2 devastating long range, a couple of headshots takes him down. VK is going to look for the right time to leave this compound, but they still have a 2-man of the 187Zs in apartments with them. So they're going to want to deal with this as swiftly as possible. I know that that's their plan here. Quavoff is already onto the 2nd floor, trying to figure out where the final 2 members are for the 187Zs. He's waiting for his backup. Sweezy's there. He snuck into the bathroom and totally catches Savage off guard here. He's going to need Sweezy there just in time to take down Savage. VK already with 10 kills here, and we have a 4-on-4. So it's up to AFI to pin them into this compound to get the angles. VK is already shooting out. Tony and Linkadox already have their eyes looking outwards towards AFI. And we've got just an old-fashioned 4v4 here, Blitz. It's going to come down to gun skill and who can make the plays.
Absolutely. And we've been talking about Tony for a long time. And now that he's on the VK squad with Quavoff, this could just be a devastating team right now. Watching them kind of regroup, they were very low on ammo here. Tony finally just got some additional ammo. He was down to just about 20 or 30 rounds of 7.62 there. Been making some big plays. And honestly, I feel like some members of AFI and Baby Joey have been known for their great DMR play in the past. So this is going to be a big battle.
Baby Joey just
Compound's
picked up an
still in.
AWM as well. So the compound's still in. VK's not forced out. They're going to want to loot all the 187Zs, get every smoke they can for the phase 9 push when they are inevitably pulled out of that apartment complex. But it looks like Linkadox already trying to get them a little bit of territory underneath the ridge there. If they're able to sneak,
Which I think is smart.
yeah, definitely a smart play. Try to get at least somebody out of that compound early on so that you have some sort of lifeline. If everyone's pinned into that wall, you're going to be in big trouble with a team like AFI. But Linkadox and I believe Sweezy have already snuck underneath here, and this is going to be the X factor in this round. If AFI gets a little bit too focused on the compound and a little bit lazy, Sweezy and Linkadox are going to be able to sneak up underneath and really win this round for VK. So it's going to be a matter of when those guys make that play, I think, Blitz.
Stento, really odd here. 2 members of AFI just left and went to Baby Joey. They had a decent spot there. I think they're going to try to take this shed here together. So they're going to do a 1v1 split. And then
Oh my gosh.
the other 2 members are going to try to take this shed. Really, really risky play here. Zality stays alive.
It's going to pay off. It's going to pay off because they got there. But it was sloppy driving. If you saw the car flipping, they went down there, and VK almost made him pay for it. Zaloti was really weak there, but AFI now have a commanding split here in the angle
They
that
do.
Nick and Zaloti are going to be able to provide from this angle. From this north side here is pivotal, and it really
Well, I would
limits
say-
what VK is able to do here.
Baby Joey 100% has the most important position right now, having that top spot. So he cannot get knocked there. Very crucial that he doesn't get knocked, kind of cover that top zone.
What do you think, Blitz? Who
I'm
do you
just
have
shocked,
winning this
honestly,
match?
that I'm shocked that the compound has stayed in this long. I mean, I just usually see this compound leave the zone. It's so on edge that I can't imagine. Obviously, like you said, going to phase 9 is going to be leaving the compound for sure.
Don't you dare escape the prediction. Who do you have here? VK or AFI?
I think that VK is going to take this, Stento.
You think some big plays on this rotation? If anyone can get out of a compound, get some knocks, and win the game with just some crazy action plays, it's going to be Quavov, it's going to be Tourney, it's going to be these guys. But as you said, Baby Joey's position is so important.
They're so split up, Stento. All it's going to take is a smoke wall to Zality and MIK. They're going to smoke wall, maybe send 3 left, 1 right, and that I predict that's maybe what they're gonna do here, send 3 left, go. But then again, there's 2 just laying down next to each other here on the right side. Sweeney are holding hands with Linkadox. So
phase 8
we'll
left
see.
the buildings in. So it's coming down to phase 9. Baby Joey's gonna get underneath now and get into a good location. Is he gonna push all the way up? He has no idea that Sweezy and Linkadox are where they are. This is a good push if they weren't out of the compound, but he has no idea.
Well, they just got spotted by MIK. Now Meritz is going to go over the top. This is going to be a big fight here over the top. Omerta actually clutches up. Linkadox had Omerta low, but then Omerta clutched it, and now he's going to run back. That was a big early knock here.
1v1. Omerta getting the job done. He was here last game in a little 1v2. Now he's got his teammates with him, and he shows in that situation 1v1 is not an issue for him. Takes down Linkadox. Sweezy is still 1 shot. So what we thought might have been some costly plays by Baby Joey, who didn't really realize Linkadox and Sweezy were there, it turned out to be game-saving, potentially game-winning plays here due to a good 1v1 win by Omerta there. But a nice Kobe from Tourney shakes this round up. We've got a 3v3 left, Blitz.
Wow, that's an insane nade from Tourney, and Sweezy's able to first aid here.
He's gone too. That was like his 10th knock.
So now what looked like a good spread from AFI, now they're kind of stuck on the outside. And Muerta doesn't have any hard cover, so he's got to rely on these smokes. And he's actually out of smoke, Stento. So this is what I was worried about with AFI and why I called Virtual Kings for the dub here, because really now AFI lost. The zone didn't leave the compound early enough. Tourney goes down, though, so that's a big knock against
Zaloti, no vest, barely any helmet. 1v1 with the 4x on the barrel there. He does Tourney in, but Sweezy gets Omerta on the other side. Zaloti just is going to have no vest here. Quavov through the smoke, puts him down to 1 shot. Mick now is really the X factor here. He's going to need to do something fancy. He's going to need to get a knock here because I think VK is going to be able to get back to 3 strong. They do just that. Omerta's thirsted, so it's a 2v3 now. Zaloti's down. He had no vest and no helmet.
Zaloti was just shooting through the smoke and then got lasered from VK there. And now it's MIK 1v3. Mick, excuse me, trying to make a play, throwing a random molly, gonna get taken down. Virtual Kings come out victorious with another big game. 14 kills for them, crashing the compound, sticking it out, surviving the push out of there. Amazing dub. And AFI still having a great game there. They have to be happy with that. They got over 10 kills there. They have 9, 12, 13 total kills in second place, and the 187Z squad in 3rd, CK console kills in 4th, and RR in 5th.
We'll switch back to our 2-cam intermission here really quickly, but wow, what an unbelievable ending there. And you know, when you selected VK, I kind of, we knew that something had to happen. We knew that they needed to make a play. And when Baby Joey kind of got forced out of zone and sent to that location, I thought that that's what VK needed. And then Joey kind of located the 2 players quickly enough and put some damage down. And then Omerta over the top. Really, I thought that was what AFI needed. So so much happened there with that knock. And I really thought that Baby Joey had maybe costed them. And then Omerta had maybe won them. But then I think the play of the game was literally the grenade from Tourney out of nowhere to just drop onto Joey. Joey's bleeding out too fast. And then without Joey underneath them kind of being a problem, the edge players, Omerta and Zaloti and Mick on the shack there, they don't really have a good position unless Joey's underneath that squad being a nuisance. So when he got grenaded out, I think that was really what kind of cost them that round. What are you thinking?
Absolutely, and I think they ran out of smokes at that point. They were just holding the outside too long there, and really they got screwed by VK. Just had that compound for too long, right? They had hard cover for too long, and then were able to save up their smokes. And they had so many smokes. Though I was scrolling through, one player had 6, one player had 4, which at the end game is just not easy to do after you've already crashed compounds, done all that stuff. But obviously the best teams really prioritize that. And I'm sure AFI had a lot, but they were just battling for so long that we saw the cracked vest, all those things. So yeah, it was definitely back and forth, but a very exciting end there because it really did. It was like tug of war going back and forth. It's really hard to say who was going to win that.
Yeah, GG's to both teams, AFI and Virtual Kings. Just some of the best that we have here on console. So GG's to everyone. We're already getting our match 4 set up on Arango, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll be right back in a moment. Remember, after the 5th match tonight, we're going to have a vote in the chat for MVP. The MVP of the evening is taking home Astro 803 earbuds. So make sure you stay to the end and make sure you cast your vote. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody, to the Main Gaming Weekly Series. We've got $1,000 on the line over the course of 5 matches this evening, and it's been a heater so far. Lots of kills going out to some of the top teams, and we'll have to wait until that third match updates on the scoreboard to see exactly where we are, but I know that it's going to be a tight one. I think VK will be leading the way, but there's going to be several teams right behind them, Blitz, as we drop into our 4th match of the evening here.
It's amazing to see now with all these great teams how much battling there is for the top spot. But again, with Quavoff and Tourney now on the same team, that's just going to be tough for a lot of teams, I think, to fight through. We were talking about that a little earlier. Are any teams you're looking to see make a crash into the top 3 or with a surprise dub in game 4 right now?
I want to see K7. I want to see K7 with the big game, and I want to see just an insane end game in game 5 versus VK in K7. But right now, I think that after that Miramar match, that the Virtual Kings are going to have a little bit of an edge on the rest of the leaderboard, because I think they had decent games 1 and 2. I don't think they got a chicken, but I think they were over 10 kills in both those games. So they've been putting heavy kills up all night, and they finally, with a really good 4v4 win versus AFI there on Miramar, it finally really paid off, and I think they're going to jump into first there. But there's several teams who have had a very good evening so far. TSN with some good plays. AFI has been consistent. And I know there's a couple other teams that have been putting up big kills, like Zodiac Gaming. They're not going to go and lie down here. We're going to have to keep a close eye on Edu Luxo and Paulo Sam and that ZG squad, who have been very dominant recently in console PUBG. But the plane path is completed. Everybody is on their way down. Lots of teams with their normal drops in play here. We're seeing AFI head over to that George Pool area. We're seeing K7 down in the military base, ZG over at Milta. The dub
Hot drop at school right now, Stento.
Oh, and I'm just yammering on, Blitz. Let's get over there immediately. 187Zs are down. It looks like another team, BM, landed on apartments. So 187Zs are a typical apartment team. They usually go there uncontested, but it looks like Blood Money took their drop, and their safety valve school was taken by P9 here. So
Torch, P9 Torch just went down there from Sizzle with the AUG. Insane gonna come out with a flush, fast flush there. Legend is still knocked. Savage was holding the other angle. Prominent gets the flush on Legend, but then Savage gets the kill in the flush trade there. Trying to fight close range with the M16, double M16s for Savage. I'm tapped into their perspective right now. Not easy to fight on console with the M16s close range.
Some good fighting going on early game in our 4th match of the evening here. Unfortunately, Steady with some good work there. They're gonna lose Insane here too, so some crazy mutual destruction going down here. I think the Blood Money wants to get involved too. Blitz, I'm gonna take to the skies here. Hida is already on the fences, so oh my god, Steady is just causing so many problems. It looked like the 187Zs were gonna get out of here with 3 strong, maybe even 4 strong, but then a Thirst came out onto 1 member, and it's just chaos now. Savage, oh yes. My gosh, Steady does it. I thought Savage had him with the M16, but the barrel wins against M16 close range there with the auto spray, and that's 3 kills to Steady. They pick up 4 as a squad. Blurtsy is bleeding out, and Blood Money is on the push. They know he's here somewhere, and they smell blood in the water, Blitz. There you go.
Stento, you called it. They were here. Blood in the water for Blood Money, and also there 187Z squad has to be so frustrated. They had Steady down to literally, I think, 1 health there, at least 1 shot, and they ended up spoiling that whole game for them. Blood Money coming in. Definitely an unfortunate job, especially considering that 187Z has.
We've seen them get in
there playing well, but
they had a great week last week, but it was also involved with some battle for apartments. Last week they were battling FSG. I believe the 5-star generals were landing apartments with them, in the 187Zs kind of battled through it and ended up finding a chicken and some good momentum towards the end of the day there. I think they were having an okay evening tonight. Nothing really to shake a stick at, but they had full control of that fight until Steady I basically won a 1v3 there, and then Blood Money there for the easy cleanup. So Blood Money playing it really well there are going to be the real benefactors out of that, but they only pick up 1 kill. And Blitz, I love this zone. I love it so much. I'm so excited about the opportunity of coming down to military base, but that's not a guaranteed thing yet.
No, but see, now things change because before you don't want to be on the wrong side, right? Because all you have is a boat, but in comp play, the boats are just so risky sometimes, and the bridges and stuff like that. So now you have the airdrops, and you have to think about it for teams that are going to areas like school and apartments. Blood Money having both those spots, they're going to have access to probably more emergency pickups if they want them, right? You can find better loot, obviously, at the cities. So this could be huge for them. They could hang here the whole time, parachute to the military base, parachute off the military base if the circle doesn't go there. I would really, I don't know if teams are really ready to make those kind of plays yet, like those kind of meta changes, but that could be huge, right? You just hang out at the apartments the whole time, never have to worry about driving and getting killed on rotation, and honestly kind of make your way for an easy top 10, top 5 potentially. But you know, who knows? Obviously every team has a different play style, but I would definitely be trying that out at least one of the matches tonight for sure to see how it goes.
Oh, Blitz, our leaderboard has just updated and I'm so excited. First place, Virtual Kings with 44. Second place, Affinity with 42. Third place, K7 with 38. In fourth place, Console Killers with 35. TSN, fifth with 31. We're picking up right where we left off last week. 5 teams heavily contesting the top spot. And just another absolutely insane competition here tonight between so many teams. We're used to seeing a couple teams dominate, but that hasn't been the case now for several weeks.
Yeah, for sure. And the top 4 all within 10 points, so very, very close top 4. And then another team,
baby.
Exactly. And another team that I meant to bring up was Console Killers. I mean, there's a team that we've kind of seen in the middle of the pack in a lot of the main gaming weeklies before. And last week they were playing very well, very consistent. They haven't been putting up like these huge games, but just playing really consistent.
Right? They've been playing very aggressive in fights, if I'm not mistaken.
And they actually have the highest placement points too. So they've been kind of just consistently making it into the placement points, which is awesome to see. So they're kind of a team that, again, I'm not really like close with any of those guys. I'm just rooting for them because I like to see different teams in the top 3, you know?
Meanwhile, Aimbot grabbing a care package for his squad. It looks like he's going to have a FAMAS. I haven't actually gotten to witness much FAMAS gameplay.
We haven't seen much.
Yeah,
no, we haven't at all.
I'm excited to see what Aimbot can do with this.
I don't know about you, Stento. A lot of people have been kind of knocking that gun. I know that it's maybe not what people are expecting, but to me, I freaking love that FAMAS. I really like the way that it shoots, the recoil on it. Very easy to control.
You need to learn how to use it for sure, because I think people were expecting like a buffed up AUG from before type of deal, but it doesn't have that range that the old AUG had. It really is more like a 5.56 SMG. So you got to find the sweet spot with it, whether that's with a red dot, whether that's with like a 3x I've been enjoying, sometimes a 4x, but you really will notice that if you try to go too long range with like a 4x on it, that it feels like it's not doing anything. So you need to know what you're doing with that gun. I think personally, I think a red dot is the best for it, because if you're hitting your shots with that gun, it's you know, it's almost like a vector. It's so devastating. So I'm very excited to see Aimbot actually just passed it off. Apparently QDex is the best FAMAS player on Kinetic 7, so we'll get to see what the lad can do here.
It's interesting that a lot of the care package guns are so focused on speed. Just something that I thought about when you were saying that, like the P90 very fast, the FAMAS fast, MG3 obviously super fast. It's kind of interesting that those guns now are sort of that way. But yeah, I'm still a fan of it. I like it. The 30 mag obviously kind of tough, but it's still just so good. I feel like it really deletes people when you're in that close range battle.
Blitz, I'm getting over to it a little bit late, but the Dub Hub is scrapping it out with the Blood Money here. That's going to be Laser with a nade taking down Chomedy, but Lyrical over the top with that trade on the Laser. He's got a pretty decent spot on the rock here. He needs to deal with Onyx, though. This is a very important 1v1. Ooh. It's straight headies out of Lyrical onto Onyx here, and the rest of the squad has shown up. So they're going to be able to get Chomedy here, and it's been a slow night for the Dub Hub. They really haven't gotten it going, and Lyrical not stopping at all. Amazing plays Another kill with straight headshots out of that barrel. Finds the player through the warehouse crack there, Blitz. So Blood Money, we saw a little bit of inspiration out of Hida to get them going on Miramar, and they're picking up right where he left off. 5 kills for the squad already here, and they wiped the Dub Hub out of this location.
Yeah, so first of all, great shots from Lyrical there. One of the things that, this is like a real nuance of PUBG, but the hardest part controlling some of these guns is actually just the initial shot recoil. So there's actually a higher recoil jump from shot 1 to shot 2. So that's why a lot of people kind of go up initially and then kind of control the spray back down. So Lyrical was hitting those tough shots over the rock, over that window into the building on those initial sprays, which are just really hard to control sometimes. So great work from Lyrical there. And also, we're going to see them kind of fight with Crazy Mob, but just wanted to say that, Dub Hub, we mentioned before, new roster there, so you can see that they're also kind of trying to get used to it. And Lyrical gets dropped by Droppa there.
Yeah, Droppa dropped him with he shot like 6 bullets out of his gun and got headshots and knocked him. It was pretty impressive. Problems is on the move now, but Hida there, true to his name, puts him down to 1 HP. The boost now bumps him up a little bit, but a good nade will take him down here. Problems is going to be able to get that first aid off as the rest of the squad arrives, and Droppa continuing to drop Blood Money members, and now the Thirst are going to come out. Problems moves into the warehouse, takes care of Hida. Blood Money down to 3. It's going to come down to Silic here, who's in a really interesting spot in the crate, Blitz.
He is in a crazy spot there. Dreams is actually outside this compound, just joining the squad. Lyrical got back up for people listening or watching, and now he's at 75% health, got the first aid off. Xylac might be able to spoil Bliv Crazy or Problems here if they don't check this. They're actually flanking around, so they left him there. They didn't even go towards that.
They have no idea he's there, but they have cover in between them and his push. So, depending on what information
he might have a
Silic
sight
gets,
here. He might have a sight. He shoots at Crazy, but Bliv was actually looking the other way. Can Bliv trade here? Oh, he gets the quick flush.
He needs to get the revive off. Now he's going to have sound comms on the other member. Silic is just too much to handle with the barrel blitz. Straight hip fire headshots onto Bliv. Now it's just 1 member left for Crazy Mob.
And he got Droppa with a lot of pre-fire, but then Droppa got him back there. And
excuse me, it was
Xylac actually stopped shooting.
Wow, it was 2 members up. That was my mistake, ladies and gentlemen. Droppa in Dreams, but Dreams got put down, and now he seems to have been doing all the work for Crazy Mob here. Droppa has kept them in this, and he's the only one up now. Lyrical hanging out on his favorite spot up on the rocks, and now Droppa in a little bit of a 2v1 here. He's going to need to make it quick if he's going to want to get that revive onto Dreams. He's looking for his Thirst now, but the Crazy Mob, the Blood Money members are there to kind of prevent this Thirst from happening now. So Droppa's going to need to get, a nice pre-fire there from Droppa. He's going to need to get 1 quick to be able to deal with the guy on top of the rocks here, Blitz.
A quick reaction time for Droppa getting those shots in. What I like is he's not going for like a long pre-fire sprays. He's kind of just getting a few initial shots down, because when you spray too much, then you have to reload. You can get caught, but then he gets hit from Lyrical from the backside there, doing a lot of damage. Going to try to sneak a first aid off here. Can he get it off?
Droppa is just being an absolute menace right now. He canceled the revive there by throwing an aid at Chomedy. He does get that Thirst. He put Chomedy down to 1 shot with the heal there, but Lyrical helping from the rocks is keeping him at bay right now. He does hear the nade coming out from Chomedy now. Almost gets dropped by Lyrical. A little bit of pre-fire. No one on the receiving end. However, he sneaks into this corner by the crate. He's going to get a first aid off here. His vest is tagged down. A good nade might do the job. Chomedy, nothing but net on that one, Blitz. And Blood Money holding strong. They picked up 9 kills.
Wow. And yeah, and meanwhile, we haven't even paid attention to the zone. It basically solidified, not basically, it is 100% at the military base. We missed all that stuff happening there. Crazy fight. You got to be bummed if you're Crazy Mob, because they came in kind of on a third party on that.
He's gonna miss that. Lyrical just ran across the dock, leaped off of the dock onto the edge of the trolley, and mounted up as it was pulling away. Chomedy's gonna be left on the island, and Lyrical is an athlete. That was amazing.
Not seeing any boats here, Stento, so we'll see how that's going to play out for him, if he's going to swim or go for a car. There are some cars. Looks like he might go for the US. Yeah, great point, though. They're down to 9 kills already, and there's still 45 people up. So if they can survive and get onto the island safe together, or, regroup. Get some extra kills there.
Torch is trying to push their way south off of the coast, and they're pushing through CK, who's having a great evening. We just talked about it. They're in like 3rd place tonight.
CK in a 2-2 split here. Bazaar goes down. Coma trying to get away. Not a bad split there. Looks like they just got cut out and Coma had to bail on the vehicle, I think. They did have a vehicle there. Now Coma's going to be by themselves. The rest of CK going to have to move eventually as well. TSN is on the move on the south side. The zone just went north here, so the military base is in, but only at the bottom. TSN just crashed right next to VK. They spun out right next to VK Cento on the southwest side of the military base. This is going to be a disaster for TSN. It's been playing a very kind of strategic game, but they got caught in this little swamp. And Linkadox, I think, comes down with 3 of the 4 kills there. Bad Apple maybe stealing 1 of them.
Yep, right on. Oh no, Link might have lagged out here. He's strafing onto the runway here. I think he's lagged out. Hopefully we'll be able to get him back in, but unfortunately that crash, I got over to it a little bit too late. But VK picking up important kills as they are our 2nd place team right now, just 2 behind. Excuse me, they're our first place team. Just
VK is in first, so getting I mean, they picked up 3 kills there. Like I said, 1 got stolen and Link lagging out. I guess that squad wipe was too much for his Xbox there. Get the man a new Xbox. Kidding, but that's unfortunate, man. That stinks.
Hey, caught the fence. He might be able to get back in here. Unfortunately, zone in.
It's gonna go into phase 4 though.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that definitely sucks. That's just console gaming for you.
Yeah, he's getting spotted out right now. PI getting on the board with a little bit of a lag out situation. They are going to have the rest of VK probably looking that direction now, though.
Yeah, adds insult to injury, shooting on the lagged out player. Torch just parachuted on top of the industrial building here in the military base. I forget the exact name of this, but you can't. I don't think you can get up here without parachuting up here. We're using a vehicle. So now they're kind of above RR. Not a lot of cover up there, though. And the circle just left the military base for the most part. I mean, part of C block's in, but this is not going to be a military base finish. It's going to be on the kind of in the middle there on the island. So a lot of good teams, Stento. This is something we have to pay attention to. A lot of the high placement teams and strong teams are on this south side and are gonna kind of dwindle each other down. And a couple squads, SOB, Eno, are safely in the zone already. So this is huge, and this could also be pretty big for Zodiac Gaming, who are 4 strong. If they just kind of let out all these people die, this could be a big kind of leapfrog forward for them in points to try to catch some of these teams like VK, Affinity, Kinetic, 7, and Console Killers.
Yeah, you mentioned it, but there is so many teams that are actually in the military base right now. Main fight is happening between RR and Torch in the factory right now. It looks like RR got the upper hand here. I believe Torch is down to just 1 member. The thirsts are starting to come out, but this is where most of the destruction is going to go down. VK fighting with AFI. I'm going to tap over to that fight now. Quavoff started things off with a knock onto Zalodi. Mick is there. He's going to need to pick his boy up and run away if they're going to have any chance. Tony is on the scene.
Tony's got the flush already.
Yeah, I love the efficiency from VK. Our first place team here. They have 5 kills already. Unfortunately, deal with a knock onto Sweezy here. Tony might be able to get the revive off. He does have Quavoff there to kind of watch.
Baby Joey's always been so fast with the DMR there. Let the SLR rip, but again, last one left for his squad is going to be really tough. So many places to hide, though, in the military base.
Yeah, this is again just such a messy rotation for all of these teams.
Basically, and look at where K7 is starting to run up. They're kind of blocking. They're using C block and the radio tower to have a gatekeep here and blocking all of the teams coming in. So
such a great setup that Kinetic 7 is going to have here. They're going to be able to pick up almost all of these kills if they can avoid the knocks. That's really what it's all about right now. Aimbot is hanging out. Is that in the second floor?
Might be too much for them to look at.
I think he's in the 2nd floor of
Albo just made it into the same building as them.
Wow.
This could be a distraction for. I think they were just covering too many angles there. Honestly, K7 that is. Warhawk able to take out Baby Joey.
What's interesting though is that they've jumped into the second floor. You can't push the second floor of this building.
Hold on. Who's on the second floor?
Aimbot and QDex. I think they've jumped parachuted into the windows.
Oh, interesting. That's insane.
It's unpushable. You can just hang. Oh my gosh. Aimbot. However, with the craziest angle. You never see people play this building and aimbot shooting people through like fences inside. You just don't even see this played ever. Wow, elsewhere, MG with a nice little wipe onto the SOB squad. They're gonna be able to.
Crazy.
Go ahead, Blitz.
No, that was just a crazy nuance, dude. I'm kind of stunned. I'm like, I forgot that building you can't get on the second floor. So I was like, how did they get in there?
Cheating, for sure.
Just a crazy, crazy nuance there, man.
CK
that's unbelievable. That kind of just blew my mind.
What's going on? Yeah, I think that you can jump in and grab into some of the windows, but I think that you might have had to use the parachute feature, so maybe it's something that was brought back in. But some of these windows are fenced off, so yeah, I think it has to just be a nice little piece of parkour to jump into those windows. And again, aimbot putting it to use there, totally catching CK off guard with just a ridiculous angle from the second floor down.
And getting some practice with the FAMAS there. And elsewhere, we saw that main gaming taking out SOB. K7 now has to fight through Virtual Kings, which again, this is huge. Virtual Kings in first place with 44 total points. K7 in third.
Warhawk just got a really nice knock onto Quavoff, but now he's got two more members. Unfortunately, that knock, he couldn't let that happen. So Warhawk, with the most advantageous spot for his team, gets knocked, and now this kind of opens the door for Sweezy to get over to Quavoff. Revive might go down over there.
Tony's going to have a tough push here, but actually K7, are they even looking at Tony? Smokes are coming out from Tony right now.
I think that Zodiac Gaming putting a lot of pressure down onto K7. We're wasting no time getting across, but again, they're just kind of dealing with too many teams here. They need to get eyes on to VK and deal with that side as quick as they can, because ZG is just focusing too much on them, and this is a really good squad, ZG. You're not going to be able to survive those shots for very long.
Oh, for sure. I was actually worried that K7 didn't move out of the military base. You know, they chose the gatekeep instead, but now they're getting gate kept. It's just QDex up with the FAMAS. Got the red dot on it. Gets a nice kill on the Influx. Getting shot in the back, which isn't making this any easier, and Quavoff takes out. Or was that Influx? Quavoff stole the kill on Influx. A couple of steals coming in there, making the kill feel a little confusing there, but the end result is K7 is down.
Great shots, long range, out of the SLR for Mark, representing ZG, excuse me. Sweezy is the only member left of our first place team here. That'll happen really quick, Blitz. 22 minutes in, we're down to our final 5 teams, 12 players. That is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, so many teams took we said it multiple times, took the base there, that leaving was going to be an absolute disaster, and it really was. And like I kind of predicted, a lot of good teams being eliminated there. BM still in this top 5, Stento, Lyrical, and Comedy. Made it back together. This, I really think, is ZG's game, Zodiac Gaming's game, to come back into the top here. Currently sitting in 6th place with 6 kills, and also Main Gaming's chance to make a push here. They're kind of on the bottom of the leaderboards tonight. They have 5 kills.
So this Eno squad rotating. Unfortunately, they drop right onto the sightlines of Lyrical and Chomedy.
Ooh, and Edu Luxu's going to come right behind Lyrical and Chomedy here. He's got it 3 times on the barrel.
Yeah, he heard the shots. He's just trying to find the right angle here, Edu is.
I think once he hears more shots go off, he's going to go for this push. He's waiting here. There's 1 member left of Inu. Trying to jump and get some visuals. He sees more smokes coming out.
So this is all broken teams here, Blitz. A couple 3-mans, some solos. A very interesting end game dynamic here as Team Eno goes out in 5th place We're down to our final 4 squads. It's a 2-man representing Blood Money. Main Gaming has 3 players up. Zodiac Gaming has 3 players up. And our first place team is represented by just Sweezy, solo in it. He does have 2 kills, 9 kills for this squad already. So lots of kills on the board for several of these teams.
Sento, this could be anybody's game here because we're not seeing a team with a full squad. Again, Zodiac Gaming now has that FAMAS they picked up off K7. Sweezy could play spoiler here. He's not in the zone, though, in this compound, so he's going to have to leave the compound.
Yeah, it's a really
spotted.
interesting spot for end game as well. This hill up here, it kind of has a point on top. So if you're going to be center zone here, you can almost be seen from every angle. So I think that's kind of what Zodiac Gaming are trying to figure out. They've got this south side of the hill here that they can kind of play until they get pushed all the way past it. Once they do, they've just got some rocks and trees, and they're going to be in the sight lines of both BM and MG. The thing is, a fight can likely break out between BM and MG here, and that would be Zodiac Gaming's time to strike. So it's all going to be a little bit of a chess match. Who strikes first? Who kind of commits into a fight and opens the door for other teams to third party? I'm a little worried MG's getting too far into the center here, but Sweezy has been spotted by the DMRs of Zodiac Gaming. So a little bit of an aerial view here. You guys can see what these players are working with on the battlegrounds here. And again, VK, Sweezy, Blood Money might be getting angles onto MG here, who might be stepping a little too far into zone. But again, it's Zodiac Gaming who are setting up on the south side there with a nice spread, getting plenty of information with their 3 players. And Bad Apple turns around, puts our first place team out in 4th place. So that's GG's to Sweezy. Bad Apple having a great evening tonight for Main Gaming.
For sure, and what I think is going to play a big factor here is BM, right? I don't think Main Gaming wants to push towards BM. Swag was actually rotating that way, and then it seemed like he got called back, or maybe just decided to push back. So if BM goes left here, they're going to run into a 2v1 versus Edu, which they could potentially take, right? Or they could swing kind of underneath Main Gaming, and then Main Gaming is just going to get completely third party from both teams, and then Zodiac Gaming probably takes this dub. But it looks like BM is actually deciding to go left here. Edu's playing behind a tree, so BM might not see him initially, but I really think it's going to come down again to where Team 18 decides to push.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Blood Money, as you said, kind of the X factor here. Both Main Gaming and Zodiac Gaming have some decent zone right now. This is just phase 7, so phase 8 isn't going to shift too intensely, and then as we all know, phase 9 is that dot circle. So Blitz, you're just hitting the nail on the head here. It's really going to be up to these 2 teams to push Team 18 into the other squad so that a fight breaks out and they can third party it. So it's kind of interesting to see the long range shots being traded out. Blood Money have slowly started to favor the south side, and I think we're going to see a little bit of a scrap breakout between Edu Luxu, Zodiac Gaming, and Blood Money here.
So Zodiac brought over Paulo Sam. I think they sensed that somebody might be over here. Edo started to move around a little bit and being a little bit more active. Let me know who you're tapped in on, because I think we're going to see a fight. Something is brewing here on this.
I've got Tourney. He knows that these guys are close. He's got Lyrical on the high side, watching from the tree, and he just hasn't found the right angle. He's seen Mark up on the rock on the high side, but he hasn't located the 2 players that are actually closer to him. And then they're starting to get worried that Main Gaming is going to come from the north side and start to third party this, and they're running out of territory here. Zone is slowly going to start to push them in, and something's got to give here at some point, Blitz. They're
looks like Edu's
they're so close to Edu Luxu there, and Tourney seems a little bit more concerned with the north side now.
But in Main Gaming is playing this so tight. They're all together. All the other teams are kind of all wrapped, like kind of spread out. And Main Gaming's in one area together here, which
we'll have to
they
see
had an opportunity to try to take some territory there.
It might be paying off, because I don't think Mark for ZG has located them yet. So I think they're kind of playing it
honestly
low-key.
might pay off.
We'll have to see, because Zodiac Gaming does have a really good ridge here. It's gonna be up to Team 18. We've been talking about it. Tourney and Lyrical, we've seen them beaming all game this game. They already have 11 kills. They still got a little bit of smokes, plenty of first aids. Chom thought he saw someone on the low side there. Checks with a little pre-fire.
Ooh. So main game is going to go for this push towards Mark. So now Team 14 has to decide. Zodiac Gaming, are they going to regroup? Or are they going to try to hold off everything all at once here?
I think the
I'd
other
like to
teams
see
are
main
starting
gaming
to-
push completely together like an old GT kind of led team where they just all go together. Bad Apple leading the charge, but I really feel like they should all be kind of moving together here. It's their best chance to take this hill.
I like the push. I like the push. ZG might get caught trying to deal with both teams at the same time. And it needs to be a swift push from main gaming up the hill here because Mark has the ridge to work with. And he's going to be calling over to his other two teams. It looks like BM has realized that main gaming are pushing the northwest side. And they might kind of backfill main gaming here. Chomedy in a little bit of a ditch here. Can't locate exactly where main gaming is. This dynamic to this end game is absolutely insane. Phase 8 is touching up. Phase 9, under 10 seconds until we are circling on that dot.
I can't believe how much this is teeter-tottering. This is kind of like the AFI versus K7
Mark has
game we
called
saw.
over the rest of the squad, and now they've just left Paulo Sam down here. So it looks like the fight is going to happen between main gaming and Mark on the northwest side of zone. Idu Luxu seems like he's a little bit torn. He doesn't know if he needs to go back down to Paulo Sam or support Mark here on this high side.
I think unfortunately main gaming is going to get third party here, but actually no, Sam takes out Lyrical as Lyrical was doing the third party against main gaming. So that actually just saved MG. Lyrical obviously has been on fire today with some of the sprays.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, the util from Mark trying to find main gaming here. Mollies are being returned from that main gaming squad. There's still a solo up for Blood Money. Chomedy can play a little bit of a spoiler here. I'm going to tap into his perspective and let's see what he can do. He's got spotted by Paulo Sam, who's got the FAMAS in his hand. Now, Zodiac Gaming got a little bit of a spread. Foul goes down, and it's going to be a good angle from the rest of the squad. Swag does even the score here, but Idu Luxu and Zodiac Gaming with a great hold on that southern ridge. They weren't really sure which team to hold off, but some great plays by Paulo Sam to clean out that east side and take down Blood Money really opened the door for the rest of the game. And they're going to pick up 11 kills and the win and jump them right back into the mix here. A decent round for main gaming as well. Bad Apple and Foul giving them 7 kills and the second place. Blood Money 11 kills and the third place. Virtual Kings, our first place team going into that match, picked up 9 kills and the fourth, and rounding out our top 5 in match 4 of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, is Eno with 0 kills. Whew. I want to remind everybody tonight that at the end of match 5, we will be voting on MVP. We're going to do a poll in the chat, so make sure you stick around, cast your vote. The winner of the MVP award tonight is going to win a pair of Astro A03 earbuds. We've got a lobby to set up. Match 5 will be ready in just a second, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you in just a moment. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Main Gaming Weekly series. We're about to drop in on our fifth and final match of the evening. Blitz, I think last game was exactly what we wanted. Zodiac Gaming was hanging out in 5th or 6th, and they got the dub. And the top 4 or 5 teams were all within about 5 points. I'm anxious to see that 4th match leaderboard update, because I think we're going to have, again, 5-6 teams all competing for first place in this last game.
Yeah, and really that was pretty rough for TSN, who was in 5th place. So Zodiac Gaming, 6th place, had a great game, but then TSN got killed on a rotation there, stuck in the military base. So they're going to be dropping. And this being the last game here on Erangel, it's going to be really big for, again, those teams, TSN, well, really all of the top 5, top 6 teams, but especially for them to stay. And same thing with CK. I don't really remember where they finished that last match, but great performance there. What a crazy ending, Sento. Do you want to talk about how just ridiculous, not even ridiculous, not the best word, but the back and forth there, the chess part of PUBG, where
we thought
so
it was
many
gonna we
times-
thought it was gonna break out earlier, right? Like,
so many times it was like a second away from an earlier fight, which, you know, if it happened, so many different things could happen, right? Main Gaming could have easily won that if there a fight broke out on the other side, but it didn't. And that's just the nature of PUBG. It's crazy. And then every time the circle just closes in, that it's just constantly shifting back and forth. It's like almost impossible to control fully, right? I mean, you try to control it by rotating and stuff, but you can't fully control how that happens.
yeah, I think honestly it wasn't ridiculous in terms of action, but it was ridiculous in terms of the fact that nothing broke out until the very end there. So incredible ending. Zodiac Gaming got exactly what they needed to jump right back into the mix. But ladies and gentlemen, we already have the plane path taking off for match 5, and we're going to get you right over to that action. It looks like the plane path is starting from Severny, heading all the way down to military base. So full range of the map from north to south, Blitz. Lots of these teams are going to be able to go exactly where they want. And we're going to have to keep an eye out for some hot drops. We, again, have a lot of teams, probably 5 or 6, that are still very much in the running for first place tonight, the $500 first place prize. But there's going to be some teams that might be hot dropping here. We'll have to keep a close eye on it. It looks like school apartments might be the place to be again.
So I thought we were going to see a hot drop here, but I think P9 are splitting. No, actually 2 members went apartments when 1 member went to school. So that's a little bizarre. I'm trying to find where their last teammate is, because I'm only seeing 3. I don't know if they had maybe 1 drop out. It looks like there is only 3. And Blood Money took all of Rozak to themselves. So that's actually pretty nice on the flip side there, away from the potential hot drop.
First circle has popped, Blitz. Pulling up towards George Pool, kind of Gatka, Everest Center. Very interesting last game. We'll have to see. It looks like only Main Gaming and AFI are really going to be in the zone, as well as Virtual Kings hanging out in Pochinki. But there are so many teams that are in the running here, but for not only first place, as we mentioned, but for those top 4 placement prizes. So we've got to keep our eyes all over the map here, but I think we're in the place that we need to be. It looks like Steady and Sizzle dancing in one apartment. Torch and Mistake 187Z dancing in another apartment. The other 2 187Zs are also hanging out in this area. And it looks like just 1 member for P9. They're down to just a 3-man. I don't know if they started that way, if we had a lag out, but they're going to need to group up as that 3-man here as soon as possible.
Ooh, Torch is fighting here. They both members of P9 have 9mm SMG. Steady goes down, but Torch takes out Mistake. Torch is waiting, not flushing. I think he's going to wait and see if they flush. Might be like a gentleman's agreement here. He's going to go for the fight against Sizzle.
Wow, some great shots from Torch and from Sizzle to kind of back down that window peak, but here the Thirster coming out.
That Thirst came in. Sizzle gets flushed. Wow, Hitta. We've seen Hitta make these crazy pushes from his team. Made it to school. Gets the flush points on Prominent there.
Oh my gosh, this is absolutely insane.
And now Torch with the squad wipe.
A full squad wipe. The 187Zs couldn't figure out the timing, and a little bit of give and go there from Torch. Up and down the stairs with the Vector. Just so much SMG action being thrown around over here. And just like last game, Hida is leading the charge for Blood Money. He knows that there is a little bit that needs to be cleaning up here.
And Comedy actually got behind here as well, but do you really want to try and push these guys, not knowing exactly where they are with SMGs? I mean, I always say this, and I don't mean to take away the squad wipe because that was absolutely filthy, but anybody can get a kill with a Vector, right? Just like the strongest up-close gun. That's something I would not want to push against here, but not taking away the squad wipe because that was pretty nasty and really good movement from Torch there and kind of discipline going in and out of some of those shots at the right time. So very, very skilled play there.
Ooh, Hida is there with the AUG. Now it's just Torch, the man who got the squad wipe. He's gonna need to do it again. Thirst has come out. He's reduced to just a one man in that apartment there. The rest of the squad is pulling up here. Chomedy leading the charge to this apartment. Silak and Lyrical are on the east side pushing as well. So he's going to need to get another Vector out. He's going to need to do something pretty serious here to hold off Blood Money, who have been fragging out match 3 and 4. Probably jumping their way into the conversation, Blitz, but we'll have to wait until the leaderboard updates for one final time.
I was actually just checking that right now. We do have an update. We'll kind of pay attention to Torture, but I definitely want to update people on the information here.
Boom.
Comedy actually with a nasty nade on Torch just deals with them that way instead of having to push.
That's it. We might see a little bit of a fight here, Blitz.
Virtual Kings just pulled up on. Is that what you're looking at, or
yeah,
no?
Yep. Ernster is trying to hold down Gadka. Virtual Kings just pulled up. I don't know what they know about it. It looks like they're gonna get out of there.
Saw him.
They either saw or heard Ernster.
Wave off and Tony left. See, this is what, if you remember, we talked about this last week where I said Quavoff being such a veteran player on Virtual King squad, you notice when they play well, the last game, they will not take any chances. They will most likely make it to the end, solidify that dub, and take home another win because right now they are in first place. So they took a pretty big jump there, even though they didn't make it to the end game. They are now in first place with 57 total points, 13 ahead of AFI. So I thought Zodiac would have made a bigger jump here, but according to this right now, they have not. So again, Virtual Kings is in first with 57 points. Affinity's in second with 44 points. Zodiac Gaming is in third with 43 points. And Kinetic 7's actually tied for third with 43 points as well. So we have two teams tied at 43, 44, and then 57. So a pretty big jump to first place. So just repeating myself one more time, we're going to see Virtual Kings, I think, play this really methodical here to take out the dub. So some teams going to have to push them or play aggressive to stop that from happening.
We're about to see some action. Eno is pushing directly at them, Blitz. Oh, we've seen some good plays from Eno today, but they've really just been in some really shitty spots, I feel like. And they're going to get spun out by VK here, and they're going to be in a little bit of crossfire from both MG and two different angles from VK. This is going to be hard
to rotate against good teams, and now they thought the whole squad was there, so they're going to pull up here. This could be okay for them though, right? It's going to be a 3v2 now that Fortier's gone down. It could play this aggressive. Oh, but now they're going to get third partied from Foul and MG.
Wow, Foul's been putting the bolty to work today, and I guess VK just needs to be very careful here. Quavoff says, no way, that's not how we're playing it. They push right in and clean this up. So a great start here for VK, putting 3 more kills on the board. If you weren't just tuning in, Virtual Kings are in first place right now with 57 points. Second place, Affinity with 44. And then there's 2 teams tied for third and fourth, Zodiac Gaming and Kinetic 7. All frag heavy teams. This is within reach for any of them, potentially even console killers with 37.
Dub up fighting. Zodiac Gaming, again, in contention for top 5, right below Pachinki here. This could be huge for ZG to lose a few members. They do not want to lose anybody. Edu's currently down. Only 2 members of Dub Up are on the hill right now. It looks like there's only 2 members left in the match. Not sure if they already got eliminated and left or only dropped in with 2 more members.
ZG really want to keep Edu up here. They want to stay 4 strong, so they're going to need to get Mark up on the high side. I'm going to try to get into his perspective here. He's really really important in this fight here. He's kind of just using sound cues, waiting for Polinaire.
Yeah.
Steps over the
Could
top,
catch on
drops
pole
him with the barrel.
Risky flush though, because he had to reload here. If he was getting pushed from Onyx, that could have cost him Sento. That was a risky flush. But again, I don't think they know that there's only one other member of Dub Hub here, right? So I think he wanted to eliminate the information coming in, but
Yeah,
could have been
that's a
risky
great hold here for Zodiac Gaming. I think it was really Paulo Sam who was sitting on the vehicle there, just spraying over the ridge with the Scar until the rest of the team arrived, and he did enough. Zodiac Gaming back up to 4 strong. It's just Onyx here, as you said. He's got a Vector. The rest of the squad has been eliminated from this match already. We're not even 10 minutes into this match. We're down to 12 teams, 42 players. In the hot zone is going to be right in the middle there with VK, Crazy Mob, Main Gaming, and AFI, all right under Everest.
wow. So I think, we didn't see this last week. Normally game 5, people really send it, right? Especially if people haven't been playing well during the night. Last week, we saw almost all the teams were still really fighting out there. So this is definitely the most teams I think we've seen eliminated under 10 minutes for sure. SOB and a few other teams still holding in strong. We'd love to see that, especially if you're not having the best night, but staying in. It's good sportsmanship, obviously. But all the teams that are moving center here still have a lot to play for. CK needs to get some points, and they're at hospital kind of all by themselves. I'm just looking at the map here as the circle is about to pop. A lot of land here. Are we going to see Quarry? We're going to see Everest.
Wow.
And it looks like this is actually going towards the water. We're going to see either a swamp play, could be a radio antenna where AFI is at, could be a finish there, or could go up to underneath CK. So those are my predictions. Those are very
keep an
popular
eye
zones.
on AFI. They have lost Omerta, but they're in a really good spot to pick up a lot of kills. If they get Baby Joey over here and they're able to hold this hill, they might be able to make a charge here. Unfortunately, they did lose one member early on. It looks like Joey's going to pull into another really good spot, this compound just to the north side. So if these guys can stay up, they have a really good split with 3 members. They're in our top 4 already.
Something interesting I just noticed was VK actually looked to rotate to where AFI was or to Gatka, and they actually saw where everybody was and just went back to their spot. Again, just proving my point that they're going to play this very passively. So they actually just turned around. They were all driving. They went right back to the compound that they were at.
That's pretty funny.
So that's
They're they really don't need to move. They're in a decent spot right now, and they should kind of be able to leak out of that compound towards the center late if they need to. But we'll see what these circles do. For now, teams are kind of just slowly making their way to zone. Some teams trading shots. CK, AFI from long range. We have to keep an eye on K7. Are they 4 deep or just 3 deep? I didn't see exactly what happened here. Did we lose a lot of the map?
Let me see K7. Do you think people were...
I didn't pay attention to the beginning. If we lose like 20% of the map, we'll rerun the game. So I didn't know if we lost like 10 off rip or something, because a lot of these teams were 3 deep, and it's weird to me. So
it's hard to say, because sometimes when people quit out all the way, sometimes they don't appear, so it's hard to know if there was a lobby
at 42
issue.
and we've had crazy hot drops and stuff. So I think that a lot of people got in, and that's some big kills there for Zodiac Gaming. Sorry, I was just making sure that we had everything properly set up over here, guys. I'm gonna jump over to Zodiac Gaming. I think they're gonna be able to get 4 strong here. They already got 5 kills. This is big stuff. Zodiac Gaming, one of the few teams, Kinetic 7, Affinity, and a couple others that can catch our first place teams, the Virtual Kings here. So these guys off and running here, led by Paulo Sam with 3 kills already, Blitz.
Yeah, that was big. They ran into SOBU, definitely not having the best night tonight. And they're going to be able to regroup,
Warhawk
get their
got
loot.
knocked right now. TSN is playing it aggressive. Sai is on the move, and unfortunately, this was a weird little 3-man split that Kinetic 7 had, and Warhawk's going to get thirsted out here.
Wow, so TSN dropped down to 6th place. Again, 6th place, excuse me, after last match. So they need every point they can get. They're already at 4. We know they can really turn up when they want to and get pretty aggressive. A7 is in 4th place. So with a big game, TSN could leapfrog them. They're only 10 points behind A7.
Yeah, we have a lot to keep an eye on. I'm trying to watch for this next circle up. Blood Money slowly pushing up onto the ridge to the north side of Hospital. So we might see a little skirmish break out between BM and CK. Circle is pulling heavy down to that swamp area. TSN in a really good spot. K7 in a really good spot. And I think that the Crazy Mob up on top of this hill, potentially in the best spot to pick up some kills and bring themselves back into the conversation for top 4 here.
I'm also curious if we're going to see a fight between BM and CK. CK on another 2-2 split. They've been doing this a lot lately. Today, it backfired on them last match.
Crazy Mob is actually leaving the telephone tower hill, and they're going to push into this compound just to the south side. A little bit of a spread. They're going to take a little bit of the swamp as well. We need to focus a little bit on VK here. Our first place team coming into the final match tonight, and they're still 4 deep. They've got 3 kills, and as you said, they're just playing it. They're not even peeking. They're not risking anything. They're keeping helmets, vests, everything safe, and just kind of letting time tell the tale here. They're not in zone, so they are going to have to move. MG is in Gatka to the south side of them. Besides that, they have some real estate to work within the farm field and potentially up to that telephone tower hill there. It's just going to be a little bit of a race if RR can get there, if MG can get there before them. So this side of the zone is going to be very interesting and very important for the outcome of our leaderboard for this tournament.
Absolutely. You just got to love that VK has the patience and discipline to just do this so often. You know, it's
Yeah,
so
they
easy
can turn it up, but they can also dial it back and really slow it down and make sure that they're at least 4 deep end game for whatever situation arises for them. So you love to see it. And again, when it comes down to it, you know, you're not always running and gunning. You gotta make sure you're in a good spot. And
they have to move now though, and
there's a lot
CK
of long
is actually
range.
taking out some of RR here. That's actually big points for them. They just picked up 3 kills there. So
Yeah, it is
every
big
point
points.
is pretty big for them because they're trying to stay in.
I think they're just
Trying to
outside of our top
see.
4, but they're very close. They're very close.
Yeah, they are very close. So Main Gaming made it to that little compound, the little blue buildings outside of Gatka. VK might hold them out here on this hill though. So let's see how Main Gaming responds.
Very good pull up
Tourney
by
already leading
VK
the
here.
way.
Main game is going to be in a tough spot if they're going to try to rotate through them. However, it looks like the backside is generally clear for MG, so they're not restricted to these houses. They're able to play the backside of the ridge, which is going to kind of help out for this fight and this rotation as well.
And they saved a vehicle so they could actually drive down where Ernster's at. Well, they have 2 vehicles that are safe from being shot at.
That
leave
Apple's
on the
up on the
backside
roof
here.
watching from an angle I'm not sure that VK realizes, but he's also going to need to be careful. VK is here for these kills, and they have a little bit more zone.
It's interesting because MG's playing with 2 snipers. You know, most people rocking DMRs in the comp scene, but obviously in console, snipers still very powerful. A lot of players are just used to using them because it's kind of the console meta, or at least was for a long time.
Shots being traded out. Bad Apple getting a few tags here. Val joined him on the roof for a second, but this is not where you want to be. It looks like MG gonna decide to prioritize zone, but Crazy
and-
Mob from long range was watching the driver's seat. They're gonna need to get the smokes out quick here. That was problems from absolute downtown.
And Ernster, veteran comp player, knows he needs to cover right away, checking to make sure VK is not pushing. They're actually focused on maybe heading elsewhere now. I think for them right now, Main Gaming is not their priority. They just want to make sure that they can get into the next zone again. They're kind of getting squeezed out. If I went back to the antenna spot,
This scope
On
on a
top of the
sniper
hill.
is nuts. Have you ever seen someone use the 4x762 AR scope for their sniper?
no, that who has that?
Look, watch problems. It actually is not going to be well timed. Zodiac Gaming has snuck up on the scene. Paulo Sam wielding a Scar. You don't see this very often, but this Scar is very reliable. from long range spray. If you're going to try and challenge a barrel or an M4 up close with a Scar, you're going to be hitting the dirt most of the time. But this Scar, you have to kind of tip your hat to its long range spray ability. And
It is very steady when you're shooting at a distance for sure. Well said. Not the best to challenge a
they're going to be able to get
rifle.
this res. Problems fully crawls down the hill out of their sight, and Bliv ran up the hill.
Barely stayed alive there. I mean, just a
There's
sliver
so
of
much
health.
going on. Blitz AFI is about to fight VK on this edge here, and
Ooh,
they've
Baby
got all
Joey's got
sorts
a
of
good
angles.
Flank from the side, and he's got an MG3 from the back
No
laying
shot.
down.
This is your first place team, ladies and gentlemen. VK are knocked.
Sweezy goes down. Quavoff goes down as well from Mick.
Wow. The
Tourney and
MG3 being
Linkadox.
put to use here. Blitz is just insane. It's up to Tourney and Linkadox. They've got a little bit of time, but you wonder how
Baby
aggressive
Joey's got a
AFI
nade in,
want
but-
to push this. They're 3 deep. A good nade might do the job here. It
Oh, Baby
doesn't.
Joey, they're not going to hit though. I don't think he threw them too far left. He's going to go close, which is risky here. Those nades would have been really helpful. He's going to get the flush on Sweezy. Sento and CK's looking to maybe fill in behind AFI. Big nade from
There you
Zality
go.
there.
It's down to just
It's just
Linkadox.
Linkadox left.
Some
They really needed that big of a nade there. But what's crazy about VK is any person that's on their team is basically an all-star. So there's really no like, oh, we got out Quavoff. Now it's push. It's like you have to be careful with every member. But now in the 4v1 situation, great sprays into the smoke. AFI with a big clutch up, and they're actually going to be able to make it back to this hill before CK is going to get there. So they're going to
Blitz,
have
I'm
an
not sure
even
if
fight.
VK did enough to hold on to first. Zodiac Gaming, AFI, CK. These are all teams
They're
that
up
can catch
13
them.
points, but you're right, Santo. They're out so early. They're not really going to get any points there for placement. They only had a few kills, so I think you could be right here. If a team has a 10 or 12 kill dub, they might be able to leapfrog.
Another big fight about to break out here. Blitz CK, our 5th place team, about to skirmish with AFI.
I was saying if they showed up here just a minute earlier, they could have got AFI in the back and taken this hill over. Meanwhile, there's a lot of fighting going down in the swamp, but this is a pretty big battle here. Zodiac also pushing.
Yeah, this is insane.
Crazy mob,
There's
just
so
put
much
few
going on
things.
in the swamp. I feel bad not getting over there, but it's Zodiac Gaming pushing over and now starting to clean it up, Blitz. I think we're going to leave this fight from CK and AFI. There's just nades going over a hill right now. Zodiac Gaming is one of our top 4 teams. I believe they're tied for 4th right now that have a chance to push into that
Wow,
VK
so-
lead.
I tapped over to Zodiac. They have 8 kills and only Dreams is left, and he goes down as soon as I switch over there. Then they've now taken over this spot and might have an opportunity to hold out Main Gaming. On the flip side, K7's battling out with Blood Money here. They have 6 kills in this game as well. K7 was in 4th, so they needed a big game, Stento, and they only have 1 kill, 2 members left, so this is not looking good for them right now.
Yeah, they're trying every single thing they can in the book. Tons of nades going into the house, but nothing's connecting. Main Gaming's on the south side as well. Might be an opportunity to pick up some kills, but there's just too many members for MG out there, and the angles are starting to get some shots down onto Q. He's down to 38 health. He's using the car for cover as he gets a heal off, but MG have the blue on their back, slowly pushing them into this, so they're gonna have to work their way through the swamp. They either need to push this K7 Blood Money side, or they have to push towards Zodiac Gaming. So I'm kind of floating above Blitz, watching everyone rotating into zone, watching the fight break out a little bit between K7 and BM, who might elect to kind of rotate through the farm field. Qdex is leading his way around into the dips, into the farm field. No one's going to be looking this way. If they do take that little bit of a ravine there, I should take that back. Albo is looking this way, drops Q with a couple of SLR shots.
Wow, why this is going on, I've been watching AFI and CK just in such a stalemate. Qdex now back to K7 up against the blue. Gonna go for that revive. Main Gaming's now shut up and takes out Xylac.
Val opening things up with a knock onto Xylac. Bad Apple, unfortunately, going down to zone there. I think he was held out by Zodiac Gaming. Might have decided to not give that kill point up.
When he's bleeding out fast there. Bad Apple must have been knocked out. He's pretty far in the blue. A6 zone. Swag goes down.
Val drops a nade over the top onto K7. He gets a knock, but they're still dealing with 2 Blood Money members, and Swag is knocked, and Zodiac Gaming has pulled up here. So this is an absolute
Zodiac wants those kills. They're in 3rd place, so they're trying to get as many kills as they can. They're at 11th place, Dento. Talk about a team trying to get to 1st place. This Zodiac Gaming on the comeback. They know they need to get these points.
Foul is fighting in every direction as well. He got a knock onto K7. He pushed Zodiac Gaming back, put Paulo Sam to 1 shot. They're going to get back to 3 strong here, Main Gaming, and Zodiac Gaming still 4 strong, but they're split. They already have 11 kills, Blitz. If they clutch up the chicken dinner, I think that VK is within reach. But we'll have to wait and see. Onyx is playing a little bit of a spoiler here.
Onyx.
He's going to take out Influx. They're down to just 3 members. Onyx for the dub hub. Gets eliminated there in 5th place.
Can't believe Onyx was still alive there.
Unbelievable. And now this little bit of a spread for Zodiac Gaming is going to come into play here. Paulo Sam continuing to put in the work with the Scar.
AFI finally took out CK, so they've taken over that whole area, and now they have 9 kills. So this is crazy. Zodiac
Unbelievable.
And AFI in 2nd, Zodiac in 3rd. They both have a ton of kills this match.
And everyone who's involved, AFI, ZG, K7 are all top 4 teams. So whoever comes out with the chicken dinner here might be able to take the top spot. Ernster's going to bleed out to zone from that knock. And K7 picks up 2 of the kills onto MG here. So K7 didn't get a lot of action there, but they're hanging strong as a 2-man. And every point matters here for K7. They've picked up 3 kills and found their way into the top 3 as just a 2-man.
At the end of the day, though, Stento, it's really going to be, I think, AFI and Zodiac potentially fighting for 1st here to pass VK. I don't know. Kinetic only has
Blitz. These are the moments we need to focus on. Chat, these are the moments we need to focus on. We have an extra prize, and we'll be voting in the chat after match 5 this evening. We're going to put up a vote for the MVP, so pay attention to these moments. We've got some kill leaders, we've got damage leaders, but we need to pay attention, because if someone can make a big play for AFI, if someone can make a big play for Zodiac Gaming here, it's going to be enough to jump them into 1st place. $500 for 1st place, $300 for 2nd, $150 for 3rd, $50 for 4th. So that jump is significant if you do take the championship each week. AFI and Zodiac Gaming both playing it very close to the vest here, trying to figure out exactly how they can deal with K7 and then deal with each other.
Well, interesting play here. Most teams where AFI would normally hold back and try to gatekeep Zodiac Gaming, but AFI is actually pushed to the side of the zone because I think they want to try to get K7 out first and then kind of regroup against Zodiac Gaming, who's currently getting a care package. But this could backfire. So we're going to see one of AFI members, I think, go back and try to get a hold. I think it might be Mick here to get a hold of that tower kind of top area here, right? Because you don't want to lose that position. It could get backfill from Zodiac, and they're going to start to maybe make their way.
You're calling it perfect. Exactly. They realized that they got to send Mick to keep an eye on Zodiac Gaming. Zodiac Gaming's had the bigger game here. I'm not sure what AFI really realizes about how many teams this is. It's only 5 other players. So they know it can't be a full team. They know they have to deal with Zodiac Gaming, and they know they have to deal with K7. So AFI wants this chicken dinner. I think that the winner of the game, Blitz, again, probably is going to be our winner for the evening here.
For sure. I don't think K7 is going to be able to get enough points, to be honest with you, to take it. But I really think Zodiac and AFI here obviously have a strong chance. It's going to be super close. Again, Zodiac Gaming, 13 total kills. AFI has 9. So if AFI wins out here, they might, tie or have more kill points than Zodiac Gaming. I think Zodiac Gaming is going to do themselves a big disservice if they don't leave early here. A lot of teams want to wait here because they have that little ridge to hold. But a lot of times it just becomes kind of like shooting fish in a barrel trying to leave because there's not a lot of hard cover.
They have this circle, but Phase 8 is going to circle them out almost definitely.
Yeah, Zodiac Gaming, they have 12 smokes between the 3 of them, so that is good. But again, there's just not a lot of hard cover leaving. And just like last match, literally 3v3v2, it's like who's going to start the fight? And really, it's always the team, I feel like, with the
Paulo Sam is
players
on the move, Blitz. You can't blink.
This was smart. They needed to send someone.
They needed someone out there.
Absolutely. They needed somebody here. Ito's also going to play a big part with the MK. Stento.
We have to keep a close eye on this. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the MVP plays we're looking for. Big money on the line. The MVP of the evening. We are going to vote on it in the chat at the end of game 5. So please hang out after this match. We need all the votes for these players.
Stento, are you feeling any team right now has an advantage?
I feel like AFI should win because I feel like they have a nice spread here. But I think Paulo Sam, he's such a deadly player, and the rest of his squad has now gotten into his location. I think AFI, I'm not sure if we want to consider that a little bit of a dropped ball, letting them get out of there. But with K7 underneath them, I don't really know what kind of an angle they were able to get on the exit out of that swamp. So ZG in a really good spot. They're stacked 3 deep, really close together here. And they kind of got some good bridges and stuff to work with here. A little bit of like a ravine crevice that kind of leads up to the north side. So
for sure,
they're super focused on the west side. They don't know exactly where K7 is. They've got the spray scopes really on the ARs ready to go though.
There's no angle really for K7 to even see Zodiac Gaming. So I really feel like AFI might get kind of 2v1 tier from both teams.
Luxu has an MK in his
Baby
hand.
Zoe. He's got the MG3. Paulo's got the, Edu has the MK.
Yeah, this
Battle
is incredible.
Of the crate weapons potentially.
3v3v2, 15 seconds until phase 9. That's our final zone, our dot zone.
I think we're gonna see this go to the end, Stento. I don't think K7's gonna give it. I don't think K7 wants to give anything up here.
Unbelievable, Blitz. This is why we watch. This is the best players to be playing in the world with controllers in their hand for PUBG console. And we've got $1,000 on the line. It comes down to this.
Again, these are our second, third, and fourth place teams. So this is like, you normally don't see this close of a finish here, and they're really fighting for potential first. Place. So
it's time to make some MVP plays. Who's gonna do it?
8 players up
Who's
here.
Gonna get the knock blitz?
Smokes are coming out. Paulo Sam's going for the initial play in the left here. Mick is laying down. He's also the kill leader for the squad right now, so he's playing very well this game.
I love the scar. I love the scar in the hands of Paulo Sam here. I think this is going to be my vote for MVP. I think he's going to make some plays. I'm staring at him, Paulo Sam.
I think Mick is going to make some big plays. He's on fire right now. I love the spot where he's laying down. Paulo Sam is actually looking towards him. Paulo Sam takes out Mick. He called it, making big plays with the scar. Goes for the insta flush. Now K7 trying to rotate on AFI. AFI is going to get pushed into the corner here. Zodiac Gaming feeling aggressive. QDex takes out Zality.
Wow, that win by Paulo Sam, catching the snake on the edge. Unfortunately for Mick, he did get a couple tags on Paulo Sam, but now K7 striking at the worst time for AFI. They take out Zaloti. It's just Baby Joey with the MG3. There you go. Zodiac Gaming cleaned it up. It was Mark that got a couple of kills. They picked up 17 kills in the win. Back-to-back chicken dinners for this squad, Blitz. Might have been enough.
And they got 4 of the last 5 kills there, Stento. They took, and they pretty much just solidified a first place with that 17 kill first place finish. And you have to feel for AFI, 2 kind of devastating second places there to the other top teams, to the first and second team of tonight. AFI coming in second there with 9 total kills. K7 sneaking their way to a third place with just 4 kills. So they're going to be in the top 5 as well. And Main Gaming making it into 4th with 2 kills of their own. And DH Dubhub with just 2 members getting in 5th place with 1 kill.
Absolutely incredible plays there by Zodiac Gaming. I'm going to try to tap into our scoreboard real quick. Pull up our kill leaders. This is all for just 4 matches right now. Linkadox, Q, Paulo Sam, Zaloti. We're going to have to do our best to get that MVP vote up with 5 names on it as soon as we can. Blitz, let's do a quick sign off here for the people so we can get that poll set up. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I just consider it such a pleasure to be able to watch some of these players play. It's so much fun for me to get to spectate this. So massive shout out to all the players and the teams cooperating with all our rules and regulations here. Excuse me. But another amazing night tonight, Blitz. The last two events we've held these past 2 weeks have been so tightly contested that it really makes it fun. It's really come down to the wire. And we're really seeing some insane plays out of some of these players and some of these squads, and some impressive consistency as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm really excited to see how the leaderboards shake out here. I just kind of want to give a preliminary kind of top 4 for people listening, because we have to wait a little while till after this for the full scoreboard to update. But right now, with the 17 kills and placement, that's definitely leapfrogging Zodiac Gaming into first place there. Huge last game. And then by my count, it looks like AFI, I think, is going to sneak into second place potentially. Virtual Kings might be able to hold it, but it looks like it's going to be Zodiac Gaming first, AFI second, Virtual Kings third, and K7 fourth. Again, those are preliminary, not 100%. We'll wait until the end, but I think that's how it's going to shake out. And then I'm really excited to see kind of how a couple of the other teams fell there in 5th, 6th, and 7th. But we'll just have to see. Too many numbers to crunch at that point. But yeah, really great action, Sento, and it makes it more fun as a fan and a caster to follow the players week in, week out. So hopefully you guys have been paying attention to some of the previous main gaming weeklies. And then also, this is probably the best parity we've seen in a while because of all the different players and the shakeups moving. It's just made it really fun to watch game in and game out. So I've actually absolutely enjoyed it for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I want to just quickly lasso everyone in the chat. Please stay tuned. We have a big poll coming up in the chat in just a few moments. We're going to pull up some stats, pull up some scoreboards, but I want everyone to stick around. We're going to pull up a poll in the chat. We want everyone to vote for the MVP of the evening. The MVP who wins the most votes is going to be taking home a pair of Astro A03 ear monitors. So please stay tuned in the chat. Thank you so much for hanging out. We'll figure out who our winners are. We'll figure out the winners in just a moment here. Stay tuned, and thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Make sure you stay in the chat. Vote for MVP. Thank you guys so much. Blitz, anything else before we sign off here?
No, that's it. GG's. Thank you guys for tuning in. And yeah, make sure you guys are around and spread the word for everybody that's into this kind of scene. And we'll see you guys next week.
Absolutely. And a massive shout out to Floss God with his new PUBG album, Welcome to the Battlegrounds. We're going to sign off here with the first song on that, which is also titled Welcome to the Battlegrounds. Peace out, everybody. Stay tuned. We'll get that poll up in the chat.
Night, everybody.
PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. It's not a game, this is life, we don't play around. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Hit your brain, leave a stain, put you underground. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Suppressor on the sniper, you won't hear a sound. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Be aggressive, better push if you get her down. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Just landed, about to turn the city to a ghost town. Floss God, all that chicken getting hog-tied. Better stick together, cause I'm coming for your whole squad. Players unknown, aim for your cheekbone. Put you on a tombstone, I'm a walking red zone. Dropping bombs like it's Vietnam. Gotta remain calm, better give some good comms. Hit your target, soul get departed. Shooting like James Harden, been here since it started. Always gonna support it. Hit a crazy shot, I know I'm getting reported. Practice get you rewarded. Don't ride by me. If you in the boat, I'm leaving you in the sea. Another casualty, feel bad for my enemies. If you go against me, Floss God, bring the heat. It's in the game, PUBG. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. This not a game, this is life, we don't play around. PUBG,